Sills. We apologize for the audio. We're working on it too, believe me. Believe me when I tell you. We are working on the microphone and we still can't figure this bad puppy out. Again, it's nothing that we're doing here. So we appreciate you guys powering along with us. Thank you very much. And again, we're going to have Battle Royale today at 4:30. We haven't had it in a bit. Xander will join us at 3:30. We appreciate all. Man, where are we now in the calendar? Okay, where are we now here? You see this here. 3 days out from the Chargers starting training camp. 3 days out. It's incredible. Okay? I mean, 3 days out. And you're, 2 weeks out from the start of training camp for the Eagles? Incredible. What's up, Big Sills? Can you explain why Thompson continues to put in Romano in games and he continually blows games for the Phillies? You're the best, Sills. Philly, I told you. Remember what I said at the beginning of the year? That you would be screaming to fire Rob Thompson by the 4th of July. And you are. He's not a great manager. He's just not. He's an okay manager with a great roster. That's what you have in Philadelphia. You have a B manager with an A-plus roster. You're not going to win. He's not good enough. Okay, he's just not good enough. Hit the like button, guys. And I appreciate you guys. Super chats like the Phillies Ace 34. That's a great way to start the program off. We will have the Battle Royale at 4:30. I found myself, hey, Xander, I got to tell you, bro, I found myself laughing my ass off today at Birds 365. I really did. I was laughing my ass off at the show because John McMullen can't get how the majority of you think because Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, why he makes the comment that other quarterbacks in the league are better than him. And I happen to subscribe to what John says. It's not a slight on Hurts. There's better players in the league than other players. Your guy's not the best, but that doesn't need to be the end all to win Super Bowls. I found that to be funny. Again, he doesn't have to be the best. It's okay. It's not a rip. It's just not a rip. Still, he's not better than Burrow. I know that. That doesn't matter. Guys, you're the only people that believe this. There's not one personnel. John McMullen's dead on with this. There's not one personnel person that will be in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room that will tell you that they would ever take Jalen Hurts over Allen or Burrow or any of those guys. They're not going to do it. Now, I would say this to you in defense of that. Okay? In defense of that, I would say, I don't believe that you want to upset the apple cart now with the way the team has been built and add a new thing to it to try to see if you can improve your football team by adding another guy to a position where you don't need to, where the guy's excelling at winning. I completely subscribe. I wouldn't change that dynamic at all. You're winning with that recipe. Okay? It's not a rip. Dude, when someone goes like this, Justin Jefferson's better than A.J. Brown. And not that I believe that. But you could make that comment. Bro, that's not a rip. You're talking about the best player in the league. How about this? The difference between the best player in the league and the 10th player in the league is so slim. It's so slim. Who cares? It's like picking Reggie White or Lawrence Taylor. Fans, because of that Super Bowl win, they lose their mind by saying, well, Hurts won this, so he's better than that. It's not true. That's not how you look at players. Fans have a tough time swallowing that. Man. Sills, can you ask whoever covers the Browns how true it is that Newsom could be released or traded? They got salary cap issues in Cleveland. They got a lot of issues. Okay? Sure. I'm not taking that as a rip. I don't take that as a rip. You're comparing me to Howard Eskin? Thank you. Sure. I don't have a problem with that. Sills, Howard Eskin's better than you. Sorry, bud. I would take that as a rip. I'm not. He's been on longer than me. He's had a longer career than me. He was on WIP. I wasn't. Sure. Hey, by the way, that shit's all subjective. That shit's all subjective. That's why, John was getting twisted. I was laughing. I really was. I was laughing. I'm going, you try to explain this to fans that they think that the winning of a Super Bowl is the end all. Hey, dude, it's a great thing to have on your resume. I am not suggesting that. Hey, Sills, does Foles win a Super Bowl last year and in 22 with the talent that he has on the team? My problem with Foles would be this, brother, and thank you for the super. Do you know what the problem with that is? Foles is so up and down in his career. I don't know. But sure, I'll tell you what, man. In that 2018 Super Bowl, he was the best quarterback on the field. And that means Tom Brady. Get this. That's a great comment here. So the best quarterback on the field that day was Tom Brady. That's like saying that the best quarterback on the field between Mahomes and Hurts is Hurts. When everyone knows that's not true. Now, has he outplayed him? Yeah. Is he a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes? No. Right? Foles was the best quarterback on the field that day. Brady threw for more yards, but he wasn't better. Not in my book. Foles was spectacular in that game. That don't make him a better quarterback than Tom Brady. On that day, it did. Now, here's the difference with Hurts, though. He's got 2 of those games where he's done that in. That's more of a sample size. Can you get Mike Lombardi on again? Yes, we've had Mike Lombardi on before. I don't know, though, because Mike is like the general manager of UNC football now, so we'll try to get him on as they get ready to go to training camp here in about 2 weeks. I think they're getting ready to go to camp themselves because they got a game in the early part of September, so we'll try to get him on. Hit the like button, guys. We appreciate it. I thought, you know what? I love it when I hear a conversation that you and I have all the time. You and I have this all the time about Jalen. I see it the same way John does. Hey, when you're comparing Jalen to Mahomes and Lamar and these guys, it's not a rip. It's not a rip. If you're comparing Jalen Hurts to Justin Fields, that's an insult. How do you not see that? How do you guys not put that into perspective? Look who you're putting him in a group with. Dude, 2 years ago, you would never put him in a group like that. Think about his growth. This is more so than anything about Jalen Hurts. Think of his growth. 2 years ago, we were talking about him being in the group with who? Could he be a Kyler Murray? Could he be somebody like that? 3 years ago, you're talking about him in that. Hey, is he good enough? Hell, get this, 3 years ago, Howie Roseman had 2 first-round draft picks because he wasn't sure and nobody was sure coming out of 21 that Jalen Hurts was good enough to be the quarterback on this football team. And don't say anything otherwise. You knew that was the narrative. That was completely the narrative. After the 21 season, the Eagles didn't even know if he was the guy. 3 years. You're now talking about him in the room with Lamar, Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes. That's quite growth. That's an incredible distance travel. See, you guys don't look at it. That's how I look at it. 3 seasons ago, 3 NFL seasons ago, we were talking about Jalen Hurts in the room with the Kyler Murrays, the Teddy Bridgewaters, maybe a Tyrod Taylor. Now you're talking about him being in the room with Allen, Lamar Jackson, Burrow, and those dudes. I mean, now this is an insult. Now that's an insult. Mike Missinelli? Sure. Hey, watch this real. When I was a youngster, I used to get ticked off at that. Now I'm like, I implore you to do this. I love this. Hey, Zeal, I know you're busting my stones. Zeal, I implore anybody to do this. Go listen to him and then come back here and you tell me. That's all I say to people. Go listen to 97.5, or I swear to you, go listen to IP. You'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay? You'll be back. No, it's funny. He's only busting my stones. Hey, I implore you to do that. As a matter of fact, it's a public service announcement. It's a PSA. I mean, hey, I don't have a problem. Go listen to those guys. You'll be back. Hey, it's just not very good. I thought the show today with Mike Gill and Xander and John McMullen was great because it was a fair conversation. It totally was about Jalen Hurts. Nothing wrong with being the 5th or best quarterback. I have Hurts 5. But could see people having him 7 to 10, especially after the low attempts last season. Getting 3. That doesn't mean he sucks. I mean, I try explaining that. That doesn't mean he sucks. Or he's not a great player. Listen, how many jobs are there like it in the world? Jalen Hurts has one of the 32 greatest jobs in sports. There's no jobs like it. And he's considered one of the top 5 or 7 guys in the sport. I don't know. In the world? Well, this guy might be better. Who fucking cares? Joe Burrow's a better player. Does it matter? No. Because if the organization fails, you guys should be asking this question about Jalen Hurts. Has the Eagle organization failed him? Absolutely not. Has the Buffalo Bills organization failed Josh Allen? Yeah. Has the organization in Cincinnati failed Joe Burrow? Yes. Has the organization failed Mahomes and KC? No. The evaluating of a quarterback today on who's this and who's that, who would you build your team around? Those are all different conversations. Who's the better thinker on the field? I'll tell you what, Hurts is in the top 3. Who's the most skilled? Hurts is in the top 7 or 8. Facts. There's nothing. Again, how many people believe it's a rip when you say that Jalen Hurts is not a top 3 quarterback? It's not. Jalen Hurts shows you can win Super Bowls with a different style of play. I thought it was a great conversation today. Okay? Composure. Sure. Number one, I'll put him up there with Mahomes. My buddies ripped me when I compared Hurts to Bradshaw. They were never the best player in their huddle, but always found a way to win. I got one better for you. Somebody sent this to me. And I want to ask you this. Guys, please do me a favor and hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you guys hanging out here with us today. And I know the mic is not where we need to be. Some of you say it's okay, which I love. But hey, we'll get it done. We'll get it fixed. Andrew and I have been diligently working on this here. But I've got a great – somebody sent this to me. And I want to put this up here for you. So somebody put this up here, and they sent this to me earlier. Do you guys think that Eli Manning and Jalen Hurts, do you think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Eli Manning? Do you? Do you think Hurts, do you believe that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Eli Manning? Under what premise? What premise? He's not better than Eli. Eli's a game manager. I don't know. Eli's got 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Eli threw for 60,000 yards. Okay? Where in the world? Now, it's too early yet. Okay? Now, here's something. He can do more. Okay? Fair. Yes, absolutely can. Okay? Get this. And here, in my book, it doesn't. But it obviously does for you. If it doesn't matter, okay. Just on the optics. How is Hurts a better player then? If we take the Super Bowls away, under what premise does he do and what is he better at than Eli Manning? We'll take Senor's take here. So let's take the Super Bowl MVPs and the Super Bowls away. What in the world does Jalen Hurts do better than Eli? Name me one thing. Run, okay. Goal line touchdown runs, fair enough. What else? Doesn't throw the ball better. I mean, I can't tell you who he won this. Who was Pikesville Burris on those teams? He didn't really have a great running game. He didn't have really great wide receivers. David Terrell or David Tyreek, was it? He didn't really have the greatest O-line of all time. Name me one thing Jalen Hurts does better. We're taking the Super Bowls and the MVPs away. What does he do? Clutch Gene? Well, I don't think that Eli lacked a clutch gene. I've seen him in games. He's got a great playoff record. Eli had a great defense. So does Hurts. Okay? Jalen really puts us in a position to lose. When Eli was off, you knew it right away. Streaky player. But wait a minute. I'll go like this to M. Reyes. Every year that Jalen Hurts has been a starter, it's been a different Jalen Hurts. Every season, it's been different. Now, I think that's a positive. Because if you can adapt to every coordinator and have a different look every season, that means he's more versatile. Isn't it funny? He kind of fits the mode of what you're doing on defense when it comes to versatile players. Okay? Both are streaky quarterbacks. I don't think Hurts is streaky. I don't. I don't think he's a streaky player. Sills, rate Peyton, Brady, Breeze, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben, and Phillip. And please explain it. What is it? Please explain it like you do Hurts, Burrow, and etc. Okay. If I were going to thank you for being a member for 8 months. Wait a second here. Eli doesn't have the tools Jalen has. Well, Jalen doesn't have the tools in the pocket that Eli does. He has none of those skills. And I think what you're saying plays into how Jalen adapts to instability in the coaching and coordinator position. That, I think, is a tremendous asset. Eli was fortunate to have Coughlin. Absolutely true. He's dead on with that. Get this. Okay. Nobody's ever dismissed his running ability. I never said he wasn't a good running quarterback. As a matter of fact, I said that's one of his greatest skill sets. And to Bob Brown, he's a better athlete. Akbar, I want to finish you up here. Akbar, do me a favor. Give me those quarterbacks again. Rodgers, Rivers. I think that's what you put out there. Brady, Peyton, AR. I think you had Roethlisberger in there too. So if I were going to rank those quarterbacks, it's obviously Brady won. Brady was the smartest quarterback in the history of the sport. Yeah. Just the smartest quarterback of all time. Worked the hardest. And Breeze was in there. I think Breeze was the most limited quarterback of all those guys, talent-wise. I saw Drew Brees and called Drew Brees' last college football game. It was Purdue versus Georgia. It was the Outback Bowl. I was there. I couldn't believe how short he was. And I could not believe that guy would go on and have an NFL career that he did. Of all the quarterbacks that you named, Breeze having over 70,000 passing yards is remarkable, to say the least. Okay? Remarkable. Peyton, because of his heart, the top two quarterbacks that you named were the hardest working quarterbacks, Brady and Peyton Manning. They were the hardest working. I would put Rodgers third, just on pure talent. I would put Breeze on guts. Roethlisberger was part of phenomenal. Roethlisberger's a lot like Hurts. He's in a great organization. They're going to put great players around him. I never really ever thought Ben Roethlisberger was a Hall of Fame quarterback. But he's going to go. Never lost. Get this. As a matter of fact, that's a great comparison. Ben Roethlisberger and Jalen Hurts are a lot alike. Fortunate enough to go to great organizations, have great coaching around them, never lose, always have winning seasons, won 2 Super Bowls. But when I look at Ben Roethlisberger, I don't see a Hall of Fame talent. I just don't. Okay? Jalen Hurts has never made first-team All-Pro. He's never in his life. Okay? He's got 4 Pro Bowls. Does Eli? And again, that's kind of not a good metric. But once again, people were comparing and sending me asking about my take on that. Is Jalen Hurts better than Eli Manning? Well, no, they're kind of the same kind of guy in the same system. They're asked to be on a football team to do certain things. They're streaky guys. They're asked to be called on when they need to. And, when he got into the postseason, Eli was pretty good. I don't think Eli's a Hall of Fame guy. But he's going to get in because of his last name. Okay, he was a second-team guy? Sure, okay. Let me just put it to you this way. Jalen Hurts will never have the numbers. And let's put this in perspective. He does have 2 Super Bowls, if you want to put that out there, because you guys will bring up the Super Bowl. But he'll never be in the room with Eli. He'll never be in the room numerically next to Eli Manning. That will not happen. He'll be lucky to be past 36,000 yards. Breeze broke Unitas' record, my favorite quarterback ever. I think Phillip Rivers is a better player than Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. They both came out in that 04 draft. I always thought Phillip was better. I thought he was a better player. Yeah, that's right, Jessica. His career's not over. There's still a lot to go here. So if Brady, hey, Jessica, let me ask you one question. Do you think Russell Wilson has played his way out of the conversation as a slam dunk Hall of Famer? Yes or no? From 4 years ago, where Russell Wilson was, I thought a slam dunk Hall of Famer. Russell, Jessica, do you think Russell Wilson has kind of played himself out of the Hall of Fame conversation? I do. I don't think he's the same. I don't think he's in that same conversation. I just do not. So if Brady's the best because he's smarter, why do you rank Jalen fifth? He's obviously smarter than everyone else. Why do you say, okay, I say this because Tom Brady was the smartest quarterback of all time, right? And I do say that. But if I had to pick a quarterback to win a football game, it's not him. Brady's the smartest, but I'm not picking him over Montana. That's a personal preference. I don't think he could beat Joe. I just don't. I don't think he could beat Montana. I just don't. Because he has more, don't make him better. Montana was a different dude. No, I'm not kidding. It's the Jordan conversation versus Bill Russell. Bill Russell's got more titles. That don't make him better than Michael Jordan. Brady is a great player and has 7 Super Bowls. That don't make him better. I just don't. Yes, I do. I think Joe is just more gifted. I just think Joe is more gifted. Let's not forget he also had Bill Walsh. Sorry, Sills. Brady's the best for a reason. Yeah, well, sorry, Lamar, but Montana's undefeated in Super Bowl play. And really only one Super Bowl was close. And he didn't win all of his Super Bowls with Jerry Rice. Get this. Well, you had to play against him. And you had to see him, which I did. I've got an actual picture of me sacking him. Sorry. I'm biased. I saw him win too many games. Let me ask you this. Joe Montana played against elite defenses, did he not, week in and week out, because of the lack of free agency and salary cap, correct? So he played against Lawrence Taylor in those defenses for a decade. The Bears defenses for a decade. Gang Green for a decade. The Redskins for a decade. A hard take? You play against a different defense from a different team every year. Even the Eagles don't have the same defense. Jalen Hurts won't play against the same Kansas City defense because of all the changes. Montana was playing against the same elite defenses. It would be like playing against the number 1 ranked Eagle defense for the next 5 years. You don't get that in today's NFL. You just don't. He was playing against better teams. He doesn't see the same defenses from a team every year. Even you're a prime example of that. I get people in here all the time going, name me a team that doesn't have turnover every year. Well, back then they didn't. There was no turnover. Gang Green stayed together for 6 years. And Montana had to play against those defenses. I mean, okay. It's just, and Joe was just different. They didn't have free agency. Players are better. Teams aren't. Because every year the team's going to be different. Those teams weren't different. Okay? Those teams, that's right. Montana destroyed Gang Green. He destroyed them. He destroyed the 85 Bears. Not in 85. He destroyed LT. Nobody destroyed. Those teams weren't really destroying anybody. It was different. The league was closer. There was more parity because there was no free agency. Look, Brady, I'm probably biased. I just saw the guy on the field and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, he never lost. I mean, destroyed. They put 55 on the Super Bowl against Elway. Okay? Get this. Here, what am I basically saying now? Is that Larry Bird is better than LeBron. Based on what? Why would you say? How about this? I think Larry Bird's a better passer than LeBron. Does anybody in here deny that? That Bird's a better passer? That Bird was a better perimeter shooter? LeBron sucks as a perimeter shooter. I don't know. Larry's a better passer and a better shooter. You really think LeBron James is a better shooter than Larry Bird, or a better a better assist guy and a better passer? I don't. I think that LeBron's greatest asset, he's one of the greatest longevity guys of all time. Okay, I do. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, longevity player of all time. I mean, what did he go, 24, 7, and 8 last year? It's insane at 40. I get it. Okay, I mean, I get it. So let me roll this back to Jalen. I haven't even gotten off the first page. That's great. Please hit the like button, guys. Battle Royale at 4:30. Hey, do I think that Jalen is better than Eli? I'll tell you what. I'm not taking Jalen Hurts over Eli Manning in a playoff game. In a regular season game, I probably am taking Jalen. Because I don't know what it was with that guy. He's better than his brother. In my opinion, I think Eli Manning in the postseason, I might want Eli over Peyton. Because when that guy got in the postseason, that dude was one of the streakiest quarterbacks of all time. You know what Peyton Manning's postseason record is? It's 14-13. Won a lot of games. He lost a ton. I think Peyton Manning's lost more postseason ball games than any Hall of Fame quarterback of all time. He's 14-13. Somebody in here do me a favor. What Eli Manning in the postseason? What's his I'll do it here so we don't get any BS here. What's Eli Manning's postseason record? Eli Manning, postseason record. What's his postseason record? I know that he's got 2 Super Bowls. What's his postseason record? What does he have? He's 8-4 with 2 Super Bowl wins. Okay? All right, with that, 8-4, 8 wins, 4 losses, 2 Super Bowls, 2 NFC championships. Okay? Hurts is 6-3. Good. See how he finishes. If he finishes above 500. Montana never ran up on the Super Bowl Foles. Cut Brady some slack. No quarterback was beating Nick that day. He was Superman. Okay. Well, he's undefeated. It's like the Jordan conversation. That sounds well. Go beat him. You couldn't beat him. He got in the Super Bowl. He would not be denied. And he was playing against spectacular organizations at the time. The Eagles were so good a football team that they were not relevant, really, during that era of football, and they had gangrene. You were not relevant. You were not in Washington's room. You were not in New York's room. You were not in San Francisco's room. You, in theory, were not in Chicago's room. And you had one of the greatest defenses in NFL history, and you couldn't compete. You could not compete with those teams. And you had Randall Cunningham. Why? That team, that gangrene team today, they'd win 14 games because of the way that team was built. 14 games. But you were not relevant in your own era. Defense was great. Okay? You're great. Bro, stop with Nick Foles. He's a great folk hero. He's not a great quarterback. He's Jeff Hostetler. That's it. In my book, he's Jeff Hostetler. Nothing more. Okay? Nothing more, nothing less. It was great coaching and a great roster. And a guy who played out of his mind. But he's Jeff Hostetler. That's who he is. He's a better version of it, for sure. Because he was spectacular. Okay? Hey, that's right. Could go either way. Wait and see. You know what? Like I said, do you know the first 5 years of Russell Wilson's career has pretty much been better than Jalen Hurts's? Won 2 NFC championships, back-to-back actually. Won a Super Bowl. Had more passing yards, more touchdowns. What happened to his career? How do you think it's trending? I mean, what happened to him? Strong start. Actually had more wins than Jalen. Yet to be determined. Pete Carroll? Yeah. Well, Pete Carroll believed in what did Pete Carroll believe? The same thing the Eagles believe. We're not going to put the ball in the hands of the quarterback all the time. We're going to put the ball in the hands of the running back, and we're going to put and rely on the defense to play exceptional football. The Eagles are the Seahawks of the Legion of Boom. That's who you are now. Or I should say this. That's who you were a year ago. You were the Legion of Boom. Right? You were the Legion of Boom. How are you not? And actually, they went to back-to-back Super Bowls with a quarterback that was good, that leaned on a running game, with Marshawn Lynch, and a number one defense. By the way, Xander pointed it out. They had the number one defense. They won the Super Bowl. Number one defense. What year did Seattle win the Super Bowl? It's a good thing here. What year did Seattle win the Super Bowl? Does anybody know? Let me show you something here. By the way, I'm making a point here what those guys were making today. It's not a rip. No, it's not a rip. Russell Wilson. Let's see here. Let me see what he did. Let me see if it's compatible. 2023, they won the Super Bowl. Is that right? No, they didn't win it 23. They won it in 14. They won the Super Bowl in 14. So let's see what he did in 14. Oh, my God. Wait till you see this. And this is exact. How many people don't believe that you were the Legion of Boom? And you played like Seattle last year. How many people believe that? There's people in here like Abe says, no way. Okay. How many folks, that 2014 team had the number one defense in the NFL? Okay. How many folks believe that? You played like Seattle. Here's Russell Wilson's number. In 2014, here's the numbers. 34, 75, 20 touchdowns, 7 picks. I don't know. He did throw the ball 452 times, which is 10 times more than Hurts did, but they were 12-4, 20 touchdown passes. I mean, I don't know. That Seattle team, that's the 14. Let's go to 13. So 2013, we'll go to the 13 team because that's the team that I believe won the Super Bowl. They're Super Bowl champions, 43-8 over the Broncos. And he threw for what? He threw that year for 3,300 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 9 picks. They went 13-3. And Seattle had that year as a running game. Let's see what Lynch did. How many yards did he have as a runner? Russell Wilson, 3,300 passing yards. Jalen Hurts, 2,900. I don't know. Marshawn Lynch had 12 TDs, led the NFL, 1,300 yards rushing. And what did Russell Wilson have? He had 539. Boy, that sounds like Jalen Hurts to me. Nobody's talking about who's more fucking physical. Style of play. Style of play, guy. Quarterback, running game, defense. Style of play. Nobody's saying who's better. Style of play. Jesus criminy. Style of play. You played like the Seattle Seahawks. Style of play. Defense, quarterback being efficient, running game, and the number one ranked defense in the NFL. Okay? Jalen Hurts is who he is. What's this? Hurts will have what? Have a longer peak than Russell? Watch. It depends on who's around him. That will dictate and predicate who's around him as he goes forward. Again, he's not carrying that team. They're building around him and his faults, and it's brilliant. Like today, once again, guys. Okay, just watch. I know. Everyone thought that Russell Wilson was a slam dunk Hall of Famer. I know your guy is. I get it. Your guy is. Okay? I get it. No. Guy, if you don't want to be part of the conversation, that's fine. We were having one because I heard something this morning on Birds 365. It's not an insult to say he's not the best QB in the game. It's not an insult to say he's not one of the top 7 guys in the game. It doesn't matter. You're right. So what? But you get bent out of shape when people say that. John McMullen today was perplexed that people. It was almost like John was waking up going, do people think because Jalen won the Super Bowl MVP, he's the top 3 quarterback in the league? Based on what? He's right. Based on what? Dude, Hurts is a complimentary piece. That's fine. I think he's more than that, Mikey. I think he's more than that. I think he's a Swiss Army knife. And I say that he may go down. Hurts may go down as the greatest compatible quarterback that's ever lived. Did you hear what I said? Hurts may go down as the most compatible quarterback that's ever lived. And in today's salary cap, free agency era, is that more valuable than talent? Is it? That you're more adaptable to the changing coordinators and to the changing rosters than having the greatest talent in the game. There's a part of me that would rather have Hurts than Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's not compatible. He's not. You can't plug him in to Baltimore. You can't plug him into Philly. You can't plug him into Buffalo. You can't. You could plug Hurts into any offense because he's compatible to coordinator changes and environment changes. That may be his greatest asset. That it doesn't matter what the system looks like, he's going to fit into it. There's probably one quarterback other than him that could do that. That's the guy in Kansas City. That's why he's winning. It's not because he throws the ball. It's not because he throws the ball better. It's not because he throws the ball more accurate. It's because he's more compatible and adaptable to the environments around him. We have figured out Jalen Hurts. Nobody like it in the league except the guy in Kansas City. Compatible and adaptable. Name me another quarterback that could do that. That's why he wins. With how many now? Let me see. Okay. Maybe Allen. How about this? Let's see. Press Taylor, Doug, Shane, Brian, Kellen, Nick, and now Kevin Petullo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 offensive-minded guys in Jalen Hurts' head in his 5 years as a player in this league. You think that's a lot of different voices in there? And him being able to win? That is awful compatible and adaptable. It's ridiculous. Great. So he's never going to look like the guys in the league. You know what he's going to do, though? He's going to fit into whatever they're doing in Philly. He's going to fit in. That's who he is. I was listening to that today, and I started thinking, you know, what is the most incredible thing of, instead of looking at negativity, I looked at it from this end. What's the one thing he does that others can't do? Well, Tom Brady had Josh McDaniels and Charlie Weiss and Bill O'Brien for 20 years. And the majority of that time, it was McDaniels and no one else in his ear. For 17 years, it was Josh McDaniels as the OC. It's quite a bit of time to have one guy in your ear. Hurts has had 7 guys in 5 years. 7 guys in 5 years telling him something different or saying, how about this? At best, saying it different. So let me ask you this. Here's the first topic. Here we are. Top of the hour already. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, guys. What does Jalen Hurts have to do to silence critics like me and others? What do you think? What does he have to do? No. 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 If Lamar doesn't win the AFC this year, what will be the narrative? No excuses. Bro, my friend, I think the Ravens will need to have a real conversation with him. I think the Ravens need to have a real conversation with the Ravens. They need to continue to do and build a team around him and continue to get better players around him and have a conversation on how to direct him. The Eagles are showing the formula for Lamar how to win, not throw the ball more, throw the ball less. I think that's a terrible take because you're blaming the failures of the organization by saying no excuses on the quarterback because your boys won a Super Bowl. Your boy's not a better player than him. He's not a better player. He sees the game better. He's more compatible. I think he listens more. He's not a better player. Nobody in their right mind, like John McMullen said, in that organization would ever say that. But it's not important. It's just not important. Okay? Here's to me. Do you know that there used to be better IQ? Okay. Okay? Sills loves Allen's BS stats without winning a chip. No, I think winning a chip has clouded your judgment. He needs to keep doing what he's doing to win. Mikey, here's to me. Mikey, let me do this. And let me ask you this. Do you know that there used to be a narrative that Peyton Manning was a better quarterback during the era when those guys were playing? How many people in here believe during the time when Peyton Manning was playing against Brady that Manning was a better player than Tom Brady? You know, a lot of people thought that. All the touchdown passes, all the yards he threw. There were a lot of people that thought that. But what changed it? It became a fact at the end of his time when everyone looked up and said, my God, look what he's accomplished. You know, it got to a point where there was people. I used to hear Shannon Sharp say it all the time, that Peyton Manning's a better quarterback than Tom Brady. But after Brady went to Tampa Bay, I mean, I never thought it too. Leon, I never thought it. You know why? Brady never played with Hall of Fame players that won Super Bowls. He never played with a Hall of Fame player. Jalen Hurts is playing with 6 of them. He's playing with 6 potential Hall of Fame players. Brady played with none except one that won Super Bowls, and that was Gronk. Nobody else. Nobody off that Brady offense that won Super Bowls in New England will go to the Hall of Fame. Not one guy. Peyton Manning played with Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, who's on the cusp of going, Edgerrin James, and Marshall Faulk. Okay? Tony Dungy was in the Hall of Fame. Once again, bro, Moss didn't win a Super Bowl in New England. Brady had Hall of Fame players all over on defense. Brady doesn't play defense. Stop using one conversation and metric for one guy, and then when it doesn't apply to your guy that your defense carried you a year ago, you don't like to hear that. Stills, could there be a difference with what decides what makes a great quarterback, such as great quarterback talent? Then there's Brady, the greatest team quarterback. I think there is something to that. I think your guys on that in that room like that with Brady. Okay, he's in a really good group with a really good organization. There's no question. Nick Caserio, and Scott Pioli and all them guys picked phenomenal talent. They picked phenomenal talent for Brady and not top flight talent. They were winning games with Edelman, Amendola, guys like Chris Hogan, Deion Branch. These were all players that tried to go somewhere else and were bumps. Okay? Thank you for the insight. I tried to make the comparison earlier that you played like the Seahawks, ran the ball, effective quarterback, and great defense. And that was a shit take, but you don't win with only offense. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. This just in. Really? What an epiphany. Okay? Dallas was full of Pro Bowl talent, and you still talk like they one of the greatest teams ever. Name me one Hall of Famer that was on that Super Bowl team on the offensive line. Larry Allen wasn't there yet. He was there for the final two. Name me one Hall of Fame player on that first offensive line. Name me one O-lineman that went to the Pro Football Hall of Famer. As a matter of fact, on that Super Bowl, name me one Hall of Fame defender. Charles Haley and who? I'm waiting. They had Aikman, Emmett, and Irvin. Nate's in the Hall of Fame of weed smokers, not pro football. He should be, though. Was Deion on the first one? Okay. Got Deion and Haley. Okay. Deion and Haley. Who are the rest of those guys? You make it sound like, what? The greatest team of all time? They weren't. Well, no, wait. I'll take that back. They were one of the greatest teams of all time. They just didn't have Pro Bowl talent. Randy White. Wrong era, but okay. I love Randy. Okay? Well, here. The way you guys are talking, Lane Johnson's a Hall of Famer. AJ's a Hall of Famer. But you guys tell me. Barkley's a Hall of Famer. Hurts is a Hall of Famer. That's it. Mulata's a Hall of Famer. Whitson's not a Hall of Famer, bro. Bob Lilly. Great. So here's what Jalen has to do for me. To silence me. Okay? Manning also had a stacked Denver offense. I was talking more about Indy. He was kind of the – hey, Leon, Peyton Manning was a caboose on that Denver team. He had no – just like Elway was the caboose on that Denver team that won those back-to-back. He wasn't the catalyst on those teams. It was Terrell Davis. Everyone knows that. Okay? He was not. Peyton Manning was a caboose. Didn't he bench him too? I thought they benched him for Brock Osweiler at one time. Didn't they do that? I mean, they benched that guy. So here's what's going to happen with Hurts. Hurts is going to be doubted his entire career. 12th year, 7th year, 6th year. You're going to add it up at the end. Well, if Troy Aikman's a caboose, what's your guy? He was on the championship caboose ride 3 times. Okay? You're going to have, but it's going to fuel Hurts. You're going to do the same shit you did with Brady. Is just this. Watch this. You know, at the end, it all adds up. Most wins in the postseason, most touchdowns, most this and that. Longevity player. Hurts is not going to be a longevity player like Brady because of the style of play. He just won't be. He gets older. He's going to get slower. Okay? Well, then, if Aikman was never a top 3 quarterback, how in the fuck can your guy be a top 3 quarterback? And he won 3 Super Bowls. Dude, every time you open your mouth, you indict your guy to my take. You don't have to be a top 10 quarterback to win 3 Super Bowls. That's what the guys were talking about today. You just indicted your guy. Aikman was never a top 3 guy. Okay. Hey, once again, right. That's what Mike Gill was saying today. And John McMullen. He's never going to be in that top 5, top 7 talented guys in the league. Like Aikman was never. Okay. Thanks, RC3. I knew we'd agree on one thing. And he won 3 rings. Okay. Huh. Aikman was cold-blooded like Hurts. Made plays when he had to. Okay. Sure. Top 10 guy? No problem. Are they going off the basis of quarterback talent? Of course people do. Once again, I tried educating you guys by telling you players in this league are not elevated by postseason wins. They're elevated by how good you are on the field as a particular player, because that's the only thing you have control of is your play. You don't have control of who plays defense if you're an offensive player and vice versa. You have no control who plays corner if you're a defensive tackle or linebacker. You have no control of that. All you can do is control your own sandbox. That's it. Okay, that's it. And that's how you're evaluated. Who's the best player in the league? It's Myles Garrett. Well, Myles Garrett doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. Myles Garrett's the best player in the league. Plain and simple. Does Bill stand a chance to make the UNC a contender? Yes, I do. Putting my money on Dabo to make it out of the ACC. Sorry for the U. Not a Beck fan. I'm not a Beck fan either. Guy drives a fucking Lamborghini. He better put a Lamborghini performance up or I'm going to shit on him. I will promise you I will shit on him. Guy drives a Lamborghini around. I want to see Lamborghini performances, especially against Notre Dame in the opener. I want some ass, and I want it this year. You're paying that guy $7 million a year. He better fucking deliver a $7 million performance. Or I am going to shit all over that guy. Okay? I expect championship for that kind of money. Nothing more. I mean, I want undefeated. I told the team that. You know, and I'll tell you, I did a Zoom with them. And I've made it very clear. Nothing is acceptable other than a championship conference ring and opportunity to take my swings in a national championship game. Other than that, it's a fucking failure. It's a failure. I don't want to hear anything about Pop-Tart bowls or bullshit blue carpet bowls. I'm sick of that. It's been 22 years of bullshit. I am done. Mario was like, I told him, this is it. It's like Groundhog Day. 2 wins, 2 losses is a failure season. Start getting back to that shit. Okay? Start rolling to that. Grumpy? You're fucking right I'm grumpy over 21 years. You're damn right I am. I'm sick of that. Time. I don't give a shit anymore about it. You're the University of Miami. Act like it. Don't act like you're Temple. All right. Going to get into another one here. Guys, I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. Okay? It's been shit. 9 wins, 8 wins. That's terrible. He's right. Every time I see somebody put the U up, the new kids, look at my fingers, how busted they are. Every time I see them put the U up, I'm like, you're welcome. Because you didn't put it up. I did. I'm the one out there that put that reputation out there on the table. You didn't. What have you done? Where's your brick in the building? I got one. I got a brick in that bitch. I'm the one that me and Jerome Brown put a brick. He put a couple more than me, but he put bricks. We put bricks in that place. You know what these guys put? Pebbles. Shit. You should have heard me. I went all in on him. Okay? I went all in. I said, I'm sick of this. I saw a team last year go for 400 yards in offense against the Canes defense. I literally was sick to my stomach. I played on the number 1 ranked defense in the country 2 years in a row. Fucking crazy. Oh, my God. Man. So I'm not going to lie. My uncle says, as an Eagle fan, we were spoiled. He was used to Mike McCormick years and the fans chanting Alpo. Bro, no shit. You guys are in like, Xander's never seen like losing football. Dude, the Eagles were in a bad place after Vermeil and then right up to Buddy. Then they started winning. Then they went in the tank a little bit. But prior to Vermeil, that thing was a shit show from about 65 on, all the way to the 70s until Vermeil got there. The thing was a shit show. I mean, for the fan base to have been as dominant as it is now, it's the best fan base. And dude, I don't have a problem saying that. Eagles have the best fan base in the country. They do. They totally do. The only thing I'll have a problem with is that some of you got soft on expectations on what you have a benchmark for your team. And you'll say this and you'll try compromising it. You know, you get a guy on your team that's a stiff and you won't hold him accountable for being a stiff, but you'll until he leaves. And when he leaves, he's a bum. That I'm not, dude, like CJ Gardner and some of these other guys like Milton and these guys, Eagle fans used to call him a bum. I hear people going, I wish him well. Wish him well. I don't. If I was an Eagle fan, I wouldn't. Hey, I don't want you going somewhere else and helping another team win a Super Bowl. Sorry, I'm not that good a sport. I'm not that good a sport. As a matter of fact, I'm not a very good sport at all. I hate losing. Okay? How much money would Playmaker make today? Well, how about this one here, JD3? If Playmaker and T.O. were in today's NFL in their prime, I would probably put up $40 million. You'd be paying T.O. $40 million. T.O.'s a better player than A.J. A.J.'s a better teammate player. I'd rather have A.J. T.O.'s a better player, but I'd rather have A.J. because the talent level is not that far off. Here's T.O. T.O.'s here. A.J.'s like right there. But if it comes down to draws, I'd take A.J. I'll take A.J. over T.O. any day. Just because I think he's a better teammate. I've got a stat for you. Get this. You tell me if you like this stat. Let me erase this here. Oh, to finish up on that Jalen Hurts comment, we're going to add it up in the end of his career. That's when he'll get his justice. And then you're going to look up and go, shit, the guy was really great. Jalen Hurts is good. Do you guys agree? Jalen Hurts is going to get his kudos 5 years after he retires and when he leaves the game. That's when he's going to get his kudos. Maybe the last couple of years of his career, if they're all spent in Philly, right? He's going to get it at the end. That's how you're remembered. That's how you remember. Because you look at it and you go, I got to tell you, here's for me. I got more respect for Kobe after he retired. I thought Kobe was a dick. I thought he was a bad teammate. Remember what Phil Jackson said? When Kobe Bryant retires, he'll be the loneliest man on the planet. Remember he said that in his book? Turned out to be the furthest from the truth. Kobe was a great girl dad. He was all over women's sports. He was a great ambassador for the sport. And all of a sudden, in his passing, I've become a bigger Kobe Bryant fan than when he actually played. Because then I looked back on it and went, damn, that dude was better than I thought, and I didn't give him the justice he deserved. I swear to you, that's how I did Kobe. I actually did that a little bit with Eli Manning. When Eli Manning retired, I looked back on his career and I went, 57,000 passing yards, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I'll tell you this, man, not a bad way to go. I'll tell you this. Who played better in Super Bowls, Peyton Manning or Eli? Yeah, I'm sure you did. When they paid, get this, since the beginning, I knew he was a champion. You mean when they gave Wentz the $33 million contract? This is such a lie. So wait a minute. When they gave Wentz the $33 million deal, this guy's bullshitting you, trying to tell you that he knew he was a champion when he was drafted as a backup quarterback for your team. He knew he was a champion. It's such a bullshit take. Really. So many people try to change the narrative. It's such a lie. Not even the Eagles thought he was the quarterback of the future. How could you? Their actions don't speak to that. I said future, really. When they just gave the guy a $33 million contract. I'm sure you did. If they thought he was such the future, they'd have drafted him in the first round. Not even the Eagles thought he was a first-round talent. People will bullshit you, folks. Try to make their spins right. It's a terrible take. It's a terrible take. Okay? Honestly, when I saw Hurts cut on a quarterback run play, I did say if he gets a shot, he's going to be dangerous. I told my brother that. Now, those kind of comments I believe. I do believe that. Dude, that guy's got some ability here, man. Okay? That guy, there's nothing wrong saying, hey, aren't we saying that a little bit about Tanner McKee? You see a little bit of talent with Tanner McKee, right? Hey, man, this guy looks like he's pretty good. Guy looks like he's a pretty good ball player. Okay? I really do not understand why Jalen can't have it now. Super Bowl champ. That doesn't mean he's going to get respect because he won the Super. Bro, you did not show a Super Bowl MVP and a champion any respect when you traded him to Jacksonville. Why in the world would you think that because you won the Super Bowl, you're going to get that respect? You traded a Super Bowl MVP away. Okay? Did you not? Did you not trade a Super Bowl MVP away? As a matter of fact, the following year, if that dickhead Alshon Jeffries doesn't drop that pass in New Orleans, you're probably in 2 NFC championship games in a row because of him. Is that right? Am I wrong when I say that? If he catches that pass in New Orleans, you're in another NFC title game with Nick Foles, right? What'd you do that offseason? You traded him to Jacksonville. I'm actually going to give M. Reyes a little love here. He may have said he thought he saw something. M. Reyes, I'm going to roll that back. You may have thought you said, I can see you saying something like that. Just by your takes over the last couple of years here, I'm going to roll that back. I believe that you could have said some shit like that about Hurts. Okay? Everyone hated it or thought it was a crazy because Wentz just got paid. I did too. Now, but I was looking from 30,000 feet. Almost won the MVP. No one wanted a quarterback taken in rounds 2. Got to call out the BS. Christopher, yeah, but I'll tell you what, Emre, he may have. Because I've heard him. And you know what? There could be something to that. But I don't think he was sold like he thinks he is. That Hurts was going to be the future of the team. The Eagles didn't even think that. Now, let me roll that back too. A second-round pick is not a shitty pick. Cooper DeJean was taken in the second round. Cam Jurgens is a second-round guy. So the Eagles value those second-round picks. So, you know, I'm not going to say that second-round pick is stupid. Okay? I'm not. Well, M. Reyes, I'll say this to you. Maybe when the guy got hurt and people questioned whether he's going to come back the same. Okay? Dickerson a number 2. Dickerson a second rounder as well. Guys, hit the like button, please. Let me give you this number here. I've asked you this question again, but I've got some context behind it. Okay? Who will be more important to the success of the Philadelphia Eagles this year? A.J. Brown or Saquon Barkley? I've asked you this, but I've got another angle here. Who do you think will be more instrumental? A.J. Brown or Saquon? Always chilling. Saquon, Abe, AJ, Pat, AJ, Lamar, AJ, Barkley. Hurts can't win without a running game. Okay? We won't win without AJ. AJ. If we catch it, we go back to back. We own the Rams. Barkley. Because you run him and then everything opens up. Okay. Hey, ties. That's why you're bend my backside friend over. AJ, get this number here. The Philadelphia Eagles are 43-19. Excuse me, 43-9 with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts starting in the same game. It's an 83% win percentage. Listen to this again. Since AJ Brown has been an Eagle, the team is 43-9 with Jalen Hurts and AJ in the starting lineup. That's 83%. They've won 43 of 52 ball games with those two dudes on the field. What? That's crazy. 43-9. Hey man, I love Barkley, and I think Barkley's a big deal. 43-9 with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts in the starting lineup. I didn't know it was that high. I just didn't know it was 43 of 52 ball games you won when those two dudes are in the starting lineup. Hey, man, that's like one of the greatest numbers I've ever seen for a wide receiver quarterback combination. I mean, look, I love Barkley, and I agree. You guys were undefeated, the whole thing after the bye, and when Hurts is on the field with him, I'm with you. But 43-9, if Jeffries catches that, we go back to back, no doubt, dude. He catches that pass. I'll never forget that game, and I wasn't even covering the Eagles then. I said, Alshon Jeffries, the clubhouse politician who was a big Nick Foles fan, how appropriate he would drop that. He drops the pass on Foles, and they don't go, and then they trade Foles in the offseason. Classic. He helped them get exited out of the building. Sills, does the Tampa Bay injury affect him the first month? Boy, I tell you, Kyle, you're on top of your cues. I was doing the morning show, and I got a little bit of a note from the Buccaneers that Wirtz is going to be out. So I contacted the offensive line coach. Don't tell anybody. I don't think Tristan Wirfs is going to be ready for the Bucs game against the Eagles. Okay, I think he's going to miss 3 weeks. Then they're probably going to put him on a 10-day exempt. And to sit there and think that he's going to come off of IR and just be dumped into that Eagle game in game 4, man, that's a tough putt. So it's true. I'm not sure because I know he's not starting the first game. So if you hadn't heard, Tristan Wirfs had knee surgery. Here's what happened. Okay? So Tristan Wirfs was going through OTAs, and he was in a knee brace. I was told that he tried to work through it, and it's a partially torn anterior cruciate, I think it was, an ACL. Not enough to keep him out for the year, but they had to do some repairs on it. It wasn't just cartilage, and it wasn't just a scope to go in and clean it out. So there was some repair on it because he was walking around in a brace throughout OTAs and minicamp. And people were telling me, like Rick Stroud and those guys, that, he's limping. And I'm like, well, didn't he get that thing repaired right after the season? Why wouldn't he got it repaired? They tried to heal it with rest. So he just had the surgery like a couple days ago. And I never get that. I'm like, why in the world would you wait all the way to the last minute And you're going to jeopardize the first 3-4 games. Clearly going to miss the Atlanta game. Okay? And I would not be shocked half the season or all the season, correct? All the way up, okay? All the way up until the last minute, you're 2 weeks out from fucking training camp. You waited until 2 weeks out from training camp. This is not just a scope. Now, that could be a little bit of that, too. Where that if he goes to OTAs, he gets an additional roster bonus, or he gets camp bonuses, workout incentives. Yeah, that plays all into it, too. Yes, there could be some of that. I can't ever dispel that, but bro, man, you're going to be behind the 8 ball the entire first part of the season if you're Tristan Wirfs. And he's arguably the second best offensive tackle in the game. It's Lane Johnson, Penei Sewell, and then him. That's how I would put him in order. I did some research on Lane. I'll do that here in a minute. What do you guys make of this 43-9 record? 43-9. With Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown on the field. 43-9. I mean, that's getting it done, folks. Ever since they've added him, you could make the argument that A.J. Brown has been the most significant free agent / trade acquisition of another player in Eagle history. That includes Barkley. You've been to 2 Super Bowls with him. You're 43-9 with him and Hurts on the field. Every year you've been in the playoffs. Every time he's on the field, you're winning ball games. This is one of the biggest thefts. They should, seriously, Howie Roseman is a bandit. He steals Zach Bond from New Orleans. He steals Barkley from the Giants. He steals AJ from the Titans. This guy's a fucking bandit. I mean, and he's not using a gun. He's just a bandit. And they just add great players. Like, dude, he was a bandit with Becton. Holy cow. When Jesse James was walking into banks and robbing them, okay, when he was robbing banks, he had a gun in his hand at least. Who? Imagine Bond actually playing for the Saints. Hey, dude, next to Davis, who's a great football player. Hey, if you are Mickey Loomis and you see Zach Bond playing and you had him on your roster for 5 years, okay, and you didn't know who he was, what are we doing here? Good grief. Howie Roseman goes in the middle of the night. He's like a bandit. It's like a jewelry bandit. What do you call them guys? This guy goes in the middle of the night, sneaks in your house, and takes your players out from under. He's like the Grinch that stole players from the NFL. Howie's like, hey, can you imagine the song, You're a Mean One? Howie Roseman. The only thing you do is steal players from everyone. You are creepy and you're nasty. You steal my guys all the time, Mr. Howie. Holy cow. Howie the cat burglar. Holy cow. So when they see that phone ring, it's like the bat phone, right? I bet they got a special phone line. Shit, it's Roseman. How many times do you think people do that? It's like Xander picking the phone up. Shit, it's Sileo. Shit, it's Sileo. Shit, it's Roseman. Holy shit. You should have seen Xander hollering at me today. Fuck, I'm trying to fix your fucking mic. I'm going like, bro, what the fuck? Stop fucking hollering at me, man. He's like, he just starts fucking going in. Click the goddamn thing. I'm like, God almighty, man. I've never had anybody that I haven't killed talk to me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a pacifist now. I don't really get angry any longer. I'm more level-headed now than ever before. I have to be. But I'll tell you one thing. Mike Gill being on with the boys today, I was laughing out loud because there was Xander listening. And I knows that when he gets into John's face, John gets all red-faced. And you know when John's pissed, he looks like an alcoholic. His face blows up. It's red. And when John has a take challenge, he looks like he's a boozer down on the shore, and he's all red. Xander, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're questioning my take? What the fuck are you talking about? It's fucking classic. I'm laughing. I was. It was really great content, though. And so Mike Gill and those guys were going, who cares if he's not the top 7 quarterbacks in the league? Troy Aikman was never the top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Guy won 3 Super Bowls. Who cares? But everybody gets their panties in a bind. Better than Allen. Get better than Burrow. Who cares? Who really cares? And I love the comment. I mean, what does Jalen have to do to silence critics like Big Sills? We're going to do it in the end. We're going to add it up in the end. He's an add up in the end guy. All right. I got to throw this number at Xander here in a second. And I'm gonna throw this number at him. I couldn't believe this is one of the greatest numbers I've ever seen. Without further ado, the man who bitched at me this morning before the show made me feel a little uncomfortable, but I was okay with it because I overcome things because that's what great players do. The man who's the co-host of Birds 365, my friend, Big Z, Xander Krause.
What's up, Big Sills? What are you saying? I was yelling at you? I wasn't yelling at you.
I hate technology.
You hate it, and you're awful at it. You're a great sports talk host, but you are brutal. I mean, I'm telling this guy to do the most simple. Click a button on the screen. Like, I'm not asking him to, like, deconstruct a computer or anything. Click this button. It's not there. I don't see it. Oh, wait, there it is.
It's true, man. I mean, and then here, but so Xander's is like,
you're worse than Jody Mack was, though.
Oh, God. I mean, he goes like this. So you guys know, I don't touch this. I don't touch anything that Xander has set up on this thing. Xander, when they wanted me to download like Zoom, I went like this. If this fucks my afternoon show up, I'm never doing anything ever again.
I knew.
I said that. I want nothing touched. Anyway. So how about this number, Xander? A.J. Brown and Hurts on the field together since they've been Philadelphia Eagle teammates, 43-9. 83% win percentage.
With A.J. and Jalen?
As starters in the lineup.
Man, that is an impressive win percentage right there, my friend.
43 out of 52 games they've won.
Any questions, Big Sills?
No. Any question who's more important, Barkley or A.J.?
Well, hey, listen. What are they with Barkley? 17-2.
Hey, but AJ's on that field too.
Huh?
I don't think Barkley gets the yards if Hurts and AJ are not on the field like that.
I agree. This is like a 5-headed monster, this offense.
Agreed.
Take away this, I got this. Take away that, I got this. Take away those 2 things, I still got these 2 things. I mean, it's a tough team to stop, man. It really is.
You think they had a tough time figuring out how to use all the pieces a year ago?
No.
Kelly, let's do something here. Wait a minute now. Wait. By the way, all supers, we will read at the end. Please hit the like button. Xander, you said that, they did it out of necessity. Well, wait a minute. That's not how you build a football team when you're paying people and you're putting salaries together and you're paying folks and you're paying receivers $51 million and a quarterback $50 million to sit there and go, oh, yeah, we're going to run the ball. I wonder if Kellen was the beneficiary of really great, talented players, and he was limited as a coordinator. Because, again, I'll make this point to you. What did he fucking bring to the offense? What did Kellen Moore bring to the offense?
I think he managed it well within what it became last year, on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, he didn't add much, but how much can you add when you're talking about Pro Bowl players all over the place?
Okay, did he utilize all the assets in the offensive huddle?
Well, I don't think so, but I don't know if that was entirely on Kellen. I think some of that was circumstantial with what they were doing was working so well. They never had, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, they ran the ball so well. It never forced Kellen to be more creative. It never forced him to go into his bag of tricks to try and create some offensive splash plays. And by the way, when he did have to, I think he did it in the Super Bowl. He did it pretty damn well. And you talk about the Devontae Smith dagger. You talk about some of the big plays that Jalen made in that game. I think Kellen did fine. I agree with you that he didn't come in here and reinvent everything, but he really didn't have to. Just like Jalen didn't have to be an MVP quarterback last year. He didn't really have to be an MVP play caller. What he was calling, as simple as it was, worked really good. So he never had to go deeper in the bag of tricks.
Who do you think adjusted more, Jalen Hurts or Kellen Moore?
I think Jalen adjusted more. I mean, I think when you're Kellen, it's an adjustment. But at the end of the day, your job is a lot more dictated by the flow of the game and the outcome of the plays that you call. For example, if you call a bad second down play and you lose 5 yards, that's obviously going to change what you can call on third down. But when you call a second down play and you get the exact amount of yards you were hoping to get or more, it completely dictates for you almost where you're going on your play sheet. So I think Jalen adjusted more because it took the ball out of his hands a little bit more. And it required a little bit of the death of his ego. I mean, hey, you might want to be the guy, but you're not the guy. And it's not a knock on him, but how would Donovan McNabb have handled that? He couldn't even handle T.O. being a superstar. I mean, Jalen's got superstar running back, superstar wide receiver, superstar offensive lineman, superstar, everywhere. Tight end. I mean, everywhere. So I think Jalen handles it better, but I never doubted that he wouldn't handle that good.
When will Jalen Hurts get his just dues and silence critics like Big Sills?
Well, that's a question that you're going to have to answer. And in my estimation, I don't really have another critique on the player. I don't care. It doesn't look like many people want it to look. The job is to go out there and win the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Was there less on his plate than maybe other quarterbacks in the league? Sure, but I'm not here to analyze that or here to judge that. I'm here to look at the results. This guy has gotten us the results that we've wanted in Philly. So I'm very happy with the player. When you talk about a macro perspective of ESPN guys, Big Sills, Johnny Mack, and all of the people alike who don't want to give him his credit, I don't think it's a winning battle. I don't think it's a winning battle to try and win people like you over because you're stuck in what you want. And that's fine, but Jalen keeps doing what he wants to do, and it's working.
I think you
don't try and appease these people.
I think you had a problem with what those guys were saying today and what everyone else says. Well, it's not a rip.
I mean, that's more of a fan
thing. When John and
Mike
Gill were saying it today, I saw your face when they were going like this. Burrow and Allen and Lamar and those guys were just better than Hurts.
I'm like the Burrow going. It's like, okay, entirety of the NFL world. I know who you want to be your anointed one. Holy shit.
Yeah, but it's not a rip. John's right. It's not a rip. There's only 32 of these jobs, and there's really only 7 that are really premier jobs. And Jalen's got one of them. Bro, to be in the let me show you.
Yeah, and I mean he does have a good team. Like he does have a good organization around.
I'm not killing the kid for this, but I'm going to show you this. Xander, 3 years ago, we were having a debate when the Eagles had 2 draft picks that they were saying, is this the guy? You were being compared to Kyler Murray. You were being compared to whomever. And people were going, is this guy the guy? And all of a sudden, he has the 22 season. You went from Kyler Murray conversation to now you're talking this. Burrow, Lamar, Allen, Mahomes, in 3 fucking years. You've gone from that group to this tier of guy, and you're putting him in that group now. His journey has been incredible. The Eagles didn't even think he was the future of the team. Now, I will say a second pick is not a stupid pick based on the success that the Eagles have had with that number 2 pick. They've had a lot of Cooper, Landon, Cam, all these guys, right? But my point is, look at where he's come in 3 years, Andrew. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking like what? What do we got here? We got 51 getting 50 games. This guy's gone from that conversation to now he's in the top 5. I think that's a fucking remarkable climb for a guy that was being talked of. Is he the dude 3 years ago?
No, that's actually a good point by you. I mean, it's a good perspective by you. You know, you start in this category and you get to this category. It is a jump, and there has been a lot of people that have kind of eaten their words a little bit on him. Now, what does it take to get him to the next level? Because I think a certain threshold of wins makes people really forget about any talent deficiencies they might think you have. Now, what is that number? Is it 3 Super Bowls? Like, let's be real. Sometimes, and we all know Patrick Mahomes is what he is. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But sometimes you turn on Patrick Mahomes and you see him make some plays and you're just like, what the fuck was that? But he's got 3 bowls. He's been to 5. You're like, yeah, I don't really care. At what point does Jalen reach that? Maybe it's 3 wins. Maybe it's another Super Bowl win. I don't know what it would be. But I do think eventually, I mean, if we're talking about, and again, he's got a long way to go to get to this point. But if you're talking about more Super Bowls than 2, and you're going 3, 4, 5, the potential one day, I think that's when you get to a point where people don't even look at what I think of his talent, and they look at the entire, culmination. Because remember, for him to win that many Super Bowls means he's going to have to do that with different teams, different running backs, different receivers, different coordinators, and whole different setups. So that's where I think he would still be the common denominator through it all, and that might shut some of that up. But again, those are all things that come when after you handle your business. Yeah. Like, don't make that what you're trying to achieve. Let that be, a ramification or for lack of a better word, a result of what you do. And I think Jalen's head's on straight with that stuff, and that's partly why, we are where we are and why he's won as much as he's won, because he hasn't cared about fixing the outside noise. He's just cared about what he needs to do. And that ultimately has got him from that bracket to the top bracket, like you just pointed out.
How about this one here? I've been trying to figure out who this guy is. And I think today I did. Would we not agree? Is there more compatible and adjustable quarterback in the NFL other than this guy? And in today's landscape of free agency, with 18% of a roster changing, coordinator changes, isn't his best asset? He's compatible with what's in the room. He's adjustable with what you're asking him to do. Joe Burrow could not be compatible.
I think the only
not a compatible guy.
The only comp here, I think, is Mahomes. I mean, even Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen, but Josh Allen plays his ball. He plays his style of play.
It is Mahomes. It's the guy in Kansas City.
Mahomes is the guy that is a little bit more versatile based on situation. I think he's the one comp, but I don't know if he's had to do it to the extent that Jalen has. Now, remember, Mahomes, he hasn't had as good of a team around him as Jalen has had.
I mean, he's had a better play caller around him.
Well, that's true. And consistent in the play calling department. I mean, I know he lost Eric Bieniemy, but
he's had a better defense around him on a consistent basis.
You think on a consistent basis he has?
Yeah. I think when you go from 28th, Spags ain't going to float down to 28, dude. Okay? He's not going to have down there at 28. And all the coach, there's no coaching. Here's what he has. He has stability. He has no coaching. He's had the same coaches for 7-8 years, Xander. on both sides of the ball. Can you imagine if he had like the same coaches for 7, 8 years? So would you not agree? The one thing that maybe separates him, he may go down as the greatest compatible and adjustable quarterback in the salary cap era and in the roster moving era than any quarterback that's played during this time. Can you name another one?
No.
With all the changes that he's had on his rosters, his coaches, defensive changes.
Mahomes is crazy, though. Keith says Mahomes had 50 touchdown passes and 5,000 yards passing. Like,
nuts.
That is fun.
Let me ask you this. If you were going to –
That is nuts,
I got to ask the question. If you put Mahomes on the free agent market, how many first rounders would you want for him? 7?
On the trade market?
Yeah. 7?
Well, I mean, I don't even think you can because you don't get you can't
really
back. I mean, 5, I think, would get it done.
5
ones.
You know what? Remember
That's a lot of ones, dude.
Remember this, though. The Rams got 3 ones. And for Washington, when they traded for RG3.
What did the Texans get when they traded Watson? They got 3 ones, right?
Yeah.
And he was a top 5 QB at that time.
Yeah. And how about this one? The Dolphins got 3 ones for Trey Lance.
Now, oh my gosh. God, that was a bad trade, man.
His pick and 2 others.
That was an awful trade. Holy crap.
Yeah,
I mean, you can make the argument more. I don't know what's a realistic number to throw out there because I don't really think teams throw 5 ones in trades.
No.
If he hit the open market, it wouldn't surprise me if bidding got to $75 million.
Dude, that's right. Get this. He's untradeable.
Well, he's definitely untradeable, but I think an open market's a better scenario. Like, how many teams are going to come in? I'll give you 63. I'll give you 64. I'll give you 66. I'll give you 70. I'll give you 72. I mean, I think he would get up to $75 million on that.
Maybe you would look like you're at like Sotheby's getting like somebody going like this. Man, Pat Magic, come on, 62, 63, 73, 75. Before you know, you'd be at 75. Yeah. You'd be at Roger Goodell would be up there, sold $82 million. That's what it would look like.
Yeah.
All right.
I could have done that back in my heyday.
What's that?
I could have done that, I feel like. Sold! Done.
Hey, guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Supers will be counted here. Thank you very much. All right, let me ask you this one here. What will a successful Jordan Davis 2025 have to look like to Xander Krause?
Dominant run-stopping defense. If we're going to put him in the role.
So you're going to put him more in a unit than you are with his terms of his play.
That's what the Eagles have That's what the Eagles have put him in. That's not what I've put him in. That's what they've put him in. They picked up the 5th-year option. Why?
12.9.
Wait a second. Why did they pick up the 5th-year option? Because of stats?
No,
because of production?
Can I tell you why? They picked up that 5th-year option to tell him this. You're not worthy of a contract extension yet because we don't believe it.
Well,
by the way, we like you because we picked it up, but we want more from you. That's what I see with that thing. By the way, they love the guy. They have to. It's $12.9 million. That ain't a fucking cheesy number for a guy who played 37% of the snaps a year ago. That's a pretty damn high number.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do think the Eagles are going to look at it as if our unit looks good in the run game, and Jordan Davis is a big part of that, whether it shows up on stat sheets or not, he's going to be what we want him to be. And I think that's why they drafted Ty Robinson. It's why they have Moro Ojomo. It's why they have Jalen Carter, because Jordan Davis is not asked to be more than what he is, which is an anchor nose guard on first and second down. And if he's good at that, I think that's going to be successful. Now, maybe people like Big Sills won't be happy with that, but I do think, unfortunately for you, it is a unit conversation with him. I do. Like Nolan Smith, you can look and say, all right, if you get 4 sacks and you can't set the edge, you stink. You're not cutting it. Jordan's a little harder to gauge. He's a little harder to gauge.
So you're going to base your evaluation on him completely different than every other player in the defensive huddle.
Basically. I mean,
That's
how can
you like the player?
No, it's not because I like the player. It's because I think that's how else do you gauge that position?
I say, listen, you have to have a great nose to play Vic's scheme. You just have.
What do you think? What do you think Jordan Davis would get paid on the open market? Milton Williams just got $27 million or $28 million. If Jordan Davis hit the open market, what do you think a team would pay him
for a first and second down player?
Just for what he is. Whatever the team thinks
he is.
What do you think his market value would be?
$14 million, $13 million.
That's right where I'm at 15, right where Mr. International said.
He's not a $25 million guy, that's for damn sure. He's not.
He's a little heavy in my eyes, Jack, but you're probably Jack. The truth is, Jack, you're probably not far off, Jack. That's probably where it would be because those things get gassed up. Look at Kyle.
$7 million. Dude, your kicker makes $7 million.
Kyle.
Come on, man.
Come on, Kyle.
Come on, Kyle. Holy cow here. All right, I got another one here for you. Bro, do we not agree? This is a roster year for Sidney Brown. It's a roster year. You're either going to be a good ball player or you're out. Because there's no room. Here's why. There's no room for him. Where's the room for him? I'm already working Makuba. I already like Tristan McCullum. I mean, I've got guys in there that I like. If you're not here, do we not agree? If this guy doesn't start, now listen, if he doesn't start and Makuba beats him out, is it a bust pick?
I mean, I think it is because you don't spend a third-round pick on a 4-year special teams player. You spend 5th, 6th, 7th-round picks on that. So I think you're going to say that and people are going to be like, it's a bust. You're overreacting. Yeah, it's probably a little bit of an overreaction because we've had so many good picks, but isolate out just that pick. A third rounder on a guy who never got on the football field would not be a good pick. Correct. That would be a, I don't know. Can a third round be a bust? Yeah, I guess it can.
Yeah. Well, Tyler Steen, if he doesn't win the job, is going to be a turd.
A turd is different than a bust.
Okay. Well,
I agree. Jordan Davis at the 13th overall pick, that can be a bust. The third round.
You know what? I'm going to go back on this. It's going to sound crazy, but I'll say this to you. I mean, I don't think Jordan Davis is a bust.
I don't think he is either.
I'm just saying
it's easier to place that tag on the first round. I think the
pick is a bust.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying, though. Is the pick a bust or is the player a bust?
No,
the player might be a bust, but is the pick a bust?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They overdrafted. Would you say that if you were going to put Cooper DeJean in the draft right now, what pick would you put him? 7th?
For just like what? Of just Eagles
players? Overall? 7th in the first?
Of just Eagles players or in this upcoming draft?
I don't give a fuck the league when you're going to draft somebody. If you were going to put him back in the draft.
And just any given year.
What draft?
Yeah, he's a top 10 pick.
He's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, he's a top 10 pick. You can make an argument Quinyon should have been a top 10 pick too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Top 15 minimum.
But Quinyon's skill set is not quite as versatile as Coop. Like Coop is a game-changing player in the defensive end or defensive backfield. So I think he's a guaranteed top 10.
Can I tell you, Nolan Smith has rolled back into being the 30th pick for sure.
Agreed. Now, he's got a long way to go, though. He's only really proven it for 9 games. I mean, we got to see this full year, right? Like, how's the body hold up? I'm confident in his abilities on the football field, but I do have, will he hold up for the whole year? I think he will, but I do think it's still fine to wait for that if you're not sold yet.
I'll tell you this: that Moro Jomo guy looks like a 3rd-round talent to me,
and he was a 7th.
I know.
Remember, this is only year 3 for him. Last year was year 2. For a 7th rounder, that's good.
Look at all the players that they underdrafted that are have higher value.
That's why I can't really get too mad about Sidney Brown. But objectively, if you take out all the other things, I would agree.
Do you think Nakobe still fits as a 3rd rounder?
I do. I mean, he was really good when he played last year. Now, Do you want him to be on the field more in the duration of his contract? Yes, you do, obviously. But the skill set of the player, I think when he was on the field last year, you could have made an argument that was a second-round player. It could have been a second-round player. I don't know about first round because I think the size concerns, I think some of those things are valid. But the way he played last year when he was healthy, that was second-round talent for sure.
So you think Jaden Daniels is going to have a step-back year?
I think collectively that team takes a step back. I don't know if Jaden Daniels looks like shit. I'm not saying he's going to look like shit, but I think it's going to be harder for that team to flourish this year than it was for them last year, where most people came in not expecting them to really be that great. Jaden was great. Everything worked around them pretty well. They got a little bit of that football luck that you need late in the year with the way things bounced their way. And they took advantage of it. And I think they did a great job, but I think they set the bar really high after year one. And, 10 wins should be a success for a team that's been bottom of the NFL for 25 years. But it might not be viewed as a success this year because they won 12 games last year. And that's kind of where I think they are. I think they're in that 10, 11 win camp. And many will probably look at that as a letdown. I mean, remember, people think about how people talk about Stroud's second year, and I've been a victim of this too, where I've talked about it. But what were the Houston Texans last year?
A playoff team.
They were a playoff team, and they won how many games? 10-7 last year, were they?
Yeah,
they were 10-7 last year, and people act like C.J. Stroud dropped off the face of the earth. I mean, look, I don't disagree. C.J. definitely took a step back, but he didn't.
I thought the team did.
That's what I think is going to happen to Jaden, though. CJ took a step back, but he still didn't really look that bad. And the team won 10 games, and they went to the playoffs. That's what I think happens with Jaden.
I thought they played better than Kansas City. I thought they got jobbed in that game a couple plays. And I think Stroud's just going through the motion.
I like Stroud. I like Stroud a lot. Yeah.
He shocked me. Well, then, if you think that's going to take a step back, well, why do you think Cooper and Q are going to take steps up with new players in the secondary and new players in the defensive front? Why will they take steps forward?
Well, I think it's in a little bit of a different circumstance when you look at a team. Remember, they're just like we talk about how Jalen Hurts has the right system around him, similar to for these rookies, right? I mean, they're not in an environment like one of these other franchises where there's so much fluctuation year to year, or there's so much inconsistency year to year in the way you build the team that it can be streaky. Even an example like the Texans, like we just used. The Eagles are a much better organization than most teams. They're operating at a much higher level. And I also just think those are special players. They're not asking Q to be man coverage. And you're right, that makes him not a lockdown corner, but it also limits how much the seesaw can go. Right? If you're within a zone, maybe he fluctuates like this. But if you got him in man, the highs could be higher, but the lows could be lower. And I don't think those lows exist as low as, they might for a quarterback of a team that has struggled for 25 years, just jumped up from 3 wins to 12 wins. There's a low, there's a high. That's a big bar. I think the Eagles have a little bit of a better system where they wouldn't have as much fluctuation. Now, that's not to say that it's guaranteed that they get better this year, that they have better years. I think it would be fair to say, let's see how they do coming into year 2. But I do think the better system, the better team, the better defense around them, I think they're in a good spot. And Cooper, wait a second. You think Cooper DeJean's going to have a worse year?
No.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I just want to know how you apply that to him.
That dude's a special cat. Come on, man.
Jaden Daniels, is it?
He's a quarterback. It's harder. Listen, he is a special cat. But when you're the quarterback and you have that much more pressure and that much more onus on you for your team to be good, I think it's harder, even when you are super special, to uphold what you did last year versus Coop. Great player, obviously feel amazing about him, but he's playing slot corner. He's not playing quarterback. It's a harder job that Jaden has.
Well, let me ask you this here then. All right. So Sauce Gardner had a spectacular rookie season. He kind of walked it back the second year, but when his contract is going to be hitting him at the end of this season, he's going to make more money than Derek Stingley. He's going to make $37, $38 million. Okay. I mean, Q's not better than that guy.
No, he's not.
He's not. But he took a step back in his second year. But you're saying that you don't think Q and them guys do because of the scheme they're in.
Well, don't you think
in the environment of winning and all that, he absolutely plays a factor.
No, the scheme, though. I mean, let's stick to the scheme for a second. Don't you think that the scheme that Vic asked cornerbacks to be in gives them less room for downside?
Yes, because he's a man guy over in New York.
Exactly. So I see what you're saying, but I do think it's a little bit of a different situation.
It is because of the scheme that they have. But I think that scheme is predicated on pressure, too. If you can't set the edges and you can't get pressure on, that secondary is going to look potentially, and I'm not saying it will. I'm not in that room. But I'm saying that thing could look like 2023 at the end of the year, bro. If you don't get the volume of pressure, remember what happened in 23. The volume of pressure exposed Slay and Bradbury. It exposed, not really Slay, but it exposed Bradbury. Because routes were getting more developed and they were able to get down the field because they weren't getting to the quarterback. Okay, so again, you had 70 sacks. Dude, anybody playing center field is going to have a fucking good year. When that volume did not happen, Bradbury got exposed. And you went, holy shit, he's not the guy. And you're going, whoa, this is why your secondary was better. You didn't have the same volume you had in 22. You didn't have the same number of sacks. That secondary was the real deal. I thought the secondary in 22 was better. But I found out that wasn't true because of the limited amount of pressure. So my point will be this. If you don't have – here, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell's season will be based on how Nolan Smith and how Jalix Hunt play. Because if those guys can't set the edge, you're fucking toast in the secondary. Like you were in 23. Okay? I mean –
fair point. I don't disagree with that. I just think that they're going to be good. So I'm feeling like it's going to work. But I understand what you're saying for sure.
Is there one guy on defense you're suspect about?
Yeah, 100%. Makuba and Keeley. I feel good about Keeley though. I'm not going to lie. I feel like Keeley's got upside. Now,
so that safety spot for you is the one that you're like, what happens there?
I mean, I'm assuming Makuba wins the job. Assuming. And then I feel good about Reed. Like, I don't know. We'll see what Makuba is. He's a rookie. I have no idea to tell how good he's going to be.
My take on Reed is that I think he's a product of the environment around him. I think if there's bad players around him, he'll be bad. If there's great players around him, he'll be great. Okay, I don't think he's a leader of talent. Like, he's not one of the better safeties in the league. He's a compatible safety. Because when you put a really good one next to him, he was really good. When you put a bad one next to him, like the kid Kevin Byard, whatever that guy was, he stunk. He wasn't very good. He was hit or miss. So that'll be my take with him. Okay, I don't think Reed's not a guy. Do you think you build a safety core around? You think you build a safety core around him? Is that the guy? Then why did you draft the guy in the second round if you thought that?
Well, I mean, you did lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Okay. So you got rid of C.J. before the draft, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you drafted a guy in the second round, a lesser player compared to C.J. out of Texas as of right now. Okay, I mean, he may be better. I don't know, but you have.
Well, no, he's not better right now. I mean, CJ's a proven NFL player.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, he could be like Cooper. I don't know, but it's a question mark, right? You just don't know.
It is a question mark, yes.
Okay, yeah, and again, whatever you think about Gardner-Johnson, by the way, that guy can't keep his fucking mouth shut. That's
what I mean. I mean, that dude was good, but holy shit, what a fucking headache that guy is.
Don't you realize that they just did this? Hey, dude, you're really a good player, but I hate you. I mean,
I think that's exactly what happened. I'm not even going to lie. I really do. That's exactly what happened.
I mean, look, you could really play. You're great. You're an influence on our team, but I hate your whole game.
That's annoying.
I hate the off the field game. I don't want to deal with it. And they just went like this. Dude, you're not a likable guy. I mean, bro, you imagine not being on a defending world champion team because they hate you. I mean, that would, dude, that would, why aren't I on the, I don't blame them. Why are I not on the Eagles right now? Well, because your attitude. And they let you know it. Holy shit. That takes some big time squingeals, bro, to sit there and fucking just go like this. I'm going to draft a kid out of Texas / Clemson. I'm going to put his butt back there, and hopefully Sidney Brown does some shit. But because I'm doing that because I hate you. I don't know, man. All right, let's get to some of these supers, dog.
Guy's a head case, I will say.
Bro, I mean, he just can't keep his fucking mouth shut.
He's a head case. All right, here we go. Nate the guy. What's up, brother? Thank you, man. $10. Well, not many supers today, so we're good. Nate says, Sills said we had the worst linebacking core and our defensive ceiling was 15 and our QB wouldn't win a Super Bowl. Pretty much whatever Sills says, the opposite happens. Crow Eating Sills is your new name.
Hey, Nate, I'll tell you what. Your own organization thought the guy wasn't going to win a Super Bowl because you gave the quarterback $33 million. He proved them wrong, too. And your linebacking core in 23 was the worst linebacking core in pro football. Even Vic didn't know. I stand 1,000% by what I said. They outperformed everyone, including Vic's expectations a year ago. So congratulations to you, kid. Way to go. I stand on that 1,000%. It was amazing on what they did. They won't do it again, but go ahead.
Yo, Nate, what a great super chat. Calling out Sileo. You will never win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. Yes, Sills.
Super Bowl. He's fucking great. I know.
Listen,
he's better than Burrow.
It's been a tough run.
No, it's not been a tough run.
It's been a tough run.
No, it's not.
I know
you're caboose.
Like you were right about all
Hey, Nate, always remember something. Caboose hurts in 23. 24, I mean. Caboose hurts. It's all good. And it's not wrong, nothing wrong with being a caboose.
I mean, crow eating Sills.
Yeah, don't worry. That will never happen again. We won't have that kind of. In my 30 fucking years doing this, that's the worst year of my entire life. It'll never happen again.
No.
It'll never happen again.
I mean, even you're admitting you had a bad year.
Like I did. Well, no. I had a great year. I had a bad ending.
Oh, my gosh. That's bullshit.
Oh, I know, because you know what I said? When the quarterback goes for 2,900 yards and 18 touchdowns, I was like this. They took the ball out of the hands of the QB, and they gave it to Barkley.
Ring me.
I hope that's in for me. Hey, where'd you get the Masters shirt?
My brother went this year.
That's a mess. Hey, dude, that ain't cheap.
My brother, it was $35, but my brother got tickets. That's the hard part, is getting tickets. My brother's, I told you, my brother's in a different world. He's a beast. Look, he got me this.
Holy shit. Did you just get that in the mail?
No, he got me when the Masters happened. I wore this on the show.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Holy shit.
Amen corner hat.
How much money dude, you look like an Irishman. How much did that hat cost? That hat had to be $50.
No, $32. It's actually funny. The store there is not that cheap. It's not that.
You know what? Sandwiches there are $1.50.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's kind of their thing. It's the hard part.
It's getting the passes to get on there.
So it's pretty good. I mean, it was a cool event. My brother walked in there. You got to know the kind of dude my brother is, though. He walks in, and being the selfless dude that he is, he buys, me a shirt and a hat and a polo. My dad a polo and a hat. My mom and my 3 sisters a hat. My girlfriend a hat. His wife a hat, a shirt, a polo. He went in there. He's like, I spent $1,500 in the damn store.
That's right. Hey, I've been to Augusta.
Yeah, you have? I've never been.
Yeah, I've been to Augusta. You know how I got there? I got there through Steve Spurrier.
Oh, really?
Get this. The head football coach of South Carolina gets a membership to Augusta National. You have to still call to play, but you get a membership. Like Lou Holtz has a lifetime membership to South Carolina because of South Carolina at the Augusta National.
It's not an easy place to have a membership.
No, you know they don't really.
You know what Pine Valley is?
Of course I do.
Yeah, my girlfriend's grandfather and uncle are both members there.
Holy cow. So they get to play both courses?
Yep. Pine Valley.
Holy cow.
People talk about Pine Valley as the nicest course in the world.
Let me tell you, true. Let me tell you where Merrill belongs. Marion?
Yeah, Marion. Everybody, here's the thing, though. Everybody at Marion is on the waiting list to get into Pine Valley.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Pine Valley is the GOAT. Marion is where the rich and the people go when they're waiting to get the Pine
US
Valley.
Opens are held there.
Yeah. Some people are members at both, actually. A lot of people are members at both. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, that Marion, they got a special room there where Bobby Jones won a U.S. Amateur there. And it's one of the most famous golf courses of all time. I used to play a ton of golf.
I think we have a U.S. Open coming to the area.
Yeah,
soon. Is it Aronimink?
I think so. I think so. Yes.
Aronimink.
I think you've got a U.S. Open.
Yeah, Aronimink.
Yeah.
U.S. Open. Oh, no, it's not the U.S. Open. Sorry. It's the PGA Championship in 2026. Okay. Next year, I got to go to that. That sounds dope.
Hey,
I got to try and go to that.
You need passes. I know how to get them.
26. Yeah, we're good. I mean, I'll use you if I need you.
Yeah, I can.
May 11th to 17th. That's right after my birthday. Yeah, because the PGA was – was the PGA Championship? No, that was Truist. No.
Yeah. They just had they just had a great court. That cricket club that they just had that tournament at this year in Philly. That's one of the legendary.
Yeah, that was the Truist. Yep.
Yeah, that's
my parents got married at the cricket club.
What's that?
My parents got married at the cricket club.
Boy, I heard that's a super place.
Yeah.
Really awesome, man. All right.
I don't know how super it was because when I asked my dad about it, he was like, he didn't remember how good it was. I just know because he got me a cricket club shirt one year for my birthday. So I rocked that sometime.
Hey, by the way, that thing's really getting around with Howard talking shit on.
Yeah, good.
He
was talking some shit. He should talk some shit.
He was talking shit on everybody, and he goes like, "Hey, I got a call from WIP, and they were like this. Or what? You think?"
Oh gosh.
Howard goes like this.
What is up with the amount of butterballs in this world, in this media, specifically in Philly? If all the listeners knew about like the inner workings of the way some of these squareheads are, oh my God, you would not like half the personalities you probably listen to if you knew how they were behind scenes. Oh my goodness. At least with Sileo, you know what you're getting, and with me, you know what you're getting. Because I don't know how to be fake. Yeah, I get in trouble, Sills, in my life because I'm too honest. I'm too real.
That's right.
I don't know how to put a filter on.
I know. The greatest people in our business are liars. I hate to say that, but it's true. All right, what else we got here, guys? Please super chats. We appreciate it. Let's go.
There we go. Jason A-Team checking in. What up, A-Team? He says, just showing my appreciation to y'all. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. We have Makuba for 4 years and Sydney for 1 more after this. They need to see what they have in Sydney so they can make a decision. Reed isn't completely safe.
Do you think Reed isn't? That's a great take at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Johns keeps telling me he thinks the Reed contract's coming before training camp or before the end of training camp, before the season.
I don't believe it.
If that happens, then we know. If it doesn't happen, I think they might be banking on those 2 guys being better than they're expecting. But I think they're going to stick with Reed.
I don't think that contract's coming. You're going to do him like Zach Bond. They're going to do it a couple weeks before free agency. And if he has the year that
it's a different circumstance.
What is it?
Zach Bond was signed here on a 1-year deal last year.
Zach Bond was an excellent player a year ago. I thought Reed was okay. I didn't think he was exceptional. I mean, Zach Bond had an exceptional season. Do you really think that Reed was in that room? I just don't. I think they look at him as being a good ball player.
So look at Philly 500's texting me right now, and he goes, "Look at this crybaby bitch."
What's he moaning about?
Look at this crybaby bitch, he says. About Mark Holmes making a video while Jalen Hurts gets pats on the back. That is hilarious. Philly 500 is going to shred Mark Holmes coming up soon. There we go. More supers. JD3, thank you, brother. Sills and Z, if I'm Bama and DeBoer isn't panning out in 2 years, could you see a former player getting the job? It's becoming popular. Haha, Dix is over talent development, but still guys like Kiffin there. Yeah, I can see it.
Wait. I got your replacement.
I think a guy like Lane or Kirby or Dabo Swinney.
Well, you're missing one.
Who?
You're missing one.
Oh?
D'Amico Ryan.
Ooh, why would he leave, though? Money?
Because I'd be making $12.5 million. I'm my own king of my castle. I'm making $6 million in Houston.
He's got to be making more than $6 million in Houston.
No, he's not. He's making $6 million. That guy in Alabama's making $11 million right now. And you're the king of your own castle. They buy you a house.
I know. D'Amico would be great. That would be my favorite hire.
D'Amico Ryan's a Bama dude.
I know what he is.
Nick Saban dude.
Look at Kyle. Here's Kyle checking in. If the passing game is 30th again, A.J. Owens is going to explode like the BP oil spill.
Oh, man. What's up with that?
Kyle is so Sileo-ized. He can't even – Kyle, you are so Sileo-ized. You can't even use that big noggin of yours, dude. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Ben Dover says, they are rookies, man. They will have to learn a bit. Ringo also, just because they are starting for the first time doesn't mean bad. Be optimistic. Sileo, optimistic? Come on, Dover.
Whoa. It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's that you've got 5 guys versus the Mark Holmes Dallas Cowboys on September 4th starting on defense that are brand new starters. It ain't just one dude betting my backside friends over. It's not that. It's 5 dudes from the Super Bowl. 5 new starters. Moro, Inamian, Iwo Ojomo. And we have Jake Trotter Jr., starter, first time. Then we got, what's his name? Fidel Makuba.
All right, ready? He says, who is a better team than the Eagles, Sills? Come on. Who? Who's got a better team? Huh?
Hang on. Who's a better team than the Eagles?
There isn't one. There isn't one.
Well, no.
Mark Holmes might admit that.
That's a shitty question. Queasy Quasi.
Cable Keese with the banger. Thank you, Keese. Steve Ike says, do you sing solo? What does this mean? Do you sing solo? So low we can't hear you.
Hey, Steve. I mean, if you're trying to be funny, bro. Okay, you're as funny as John McMullen telling a joke.
Look at
got him, Z.
Got him, Z.
Hey, Queasy Quasi Walkie. Yeah. Frig you, man.
Blue Virus is in here. What up, Blue? You know your team ain't better than the Eagles. Come on, Blue.
New England? New England.
He's got to be a Drake May super fan or something, right?
No, he's a Diddy fan.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that
Hey, Robert Kraft been hanging out with Diddy, so no, there might be some questions there.
I heard Mark Holmes, man, after Diddy got acquitted, I heard he was out in his front yard with baby oil, throwing it all over himself.
Mark, check this out.
Baby oil.
Mark, check this out. I just got this text.
Oh, really? Philly 500's talking shit on him already?
5 minutes ago, it's Philly 500 saying, look at this crybaby bitch. That is hilarious.
What does that mean?
Baby. What's that?
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Cowboys are talking shit on the Eagles.
Yeah, good. That's all they got. They certainly can't beat us in the football field, so they're going to do that all the time.
Oh!
All right, I got to run, Sills. Thank you, brother.
That's 9-4.
What's that?
That's 9-4.
Oh, congrats.
What exactly is this? 1, 2, 3,
it's oil. It's an oil. It's a
baby,
lotion
baby
bottle.
oil for Diddy.
It's a lotion bottle.
This is what I heard Mark Holmes was putting on when Diddy got acquitted.
Oh, come on, man. Mark might have a shitty football team, but I'm not saying that. All right, I'm out of here, Sills.
Wait a minute. We have levels of goofy right now. So, like, wait, your Cowboys suck, but let's say Diddy, man.
I'm not putting you in the Diddy category.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Being a Cowboy fan does not put you in the Diddy category.
Don't forget to catch my boy Big Z. That was a great conversation with you and Mike Gill, man. That was good stuff today, man. Really.
Why am I not surprised you loved it? He was basically shitting on Hurts. Mad Dio gift spot. Look at a JAKIB shirt in the picture. Let's go, Dio. 5 memberships gifted. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Dio.
And before you go, what do you think it'll do?
Oh, the dude looks great. I mean, I even got a comment. Somebody texted me, look at Sills, new dude looks good. I'm like, yeah, it does look good. If only he could get his mic to work like a, he's a fossil, this guy. He's going to be in the museum soon. This guy's a fossil. He's been on computers for 20 years now. All these old people. Hey, no excuse. Mark Holmes, I think, is around the same age as you. This guy's got a full channel. He's got setups. He's got mics. He's got computers. He's got everything. Sileo can't even click his mic on. It's a joke.
Hold on.
Take some pride in what you do.
This guy made me download something called fucking Firefox fucking something. I don't even know what it is. So I had to download Firefox. He couldn't fucking figure this out. Then he had to walk me back to getting back to. I'm like, do you know this guy blew my brains out this morning with going back? You got to go back to StreamYard. You got to go to Firefox. I'm going like, what the fuck are you talking about? And this is all over a mic.
I get genuinely pissed off. Anytime we have to have a call scheduled.
Oh, it's awful.
Where we need to work on something technical. I know that I'm going to have to blow up on Big Sills. That's how it has to go.
Because he does this. Look, he'll go like this. He'll go, calm the fuck down. And I'll go ahead. Fuck it. I don't know what the
All right, Sills. I'm out of here. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. Love you, Big Z. Thanks, bro.
You, man.
Appreciate you too, man. Make sure you guys hang with those guys in the morning. They do a good job. Yeah, shit, I don't know. So wait a minute. Philly 500 set the table. He called Mark Holmes a bitch right out of the gate. I mean, what kind of fireworks are going to hit here? Mark Holmes is a bitch? Like that, right out of the gate. I want to know what the tip is. We're not even near September 4th yet. And we got bitch comments being thrown back and forth. We've got Mark Holmes talking shit on Jalen Hurts. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. So without further ado, by the way, whether it's Derek Brooks, Mr. DeBartolo, I don't give a shit who I get on. The guys who get the greatest response are Philly 500 and Mark Holmes, even over Ice Cube and people we've had on. It's incredible. Without further ado, we bring in the legendary Dallas Cowboy super, and when I say super content creator, Mark Holmes. And without any kind of introduction needed.
You see this right here?
Yeah.
Read between the lines, man. Read between the lines.
Without further ado, all we call him by is Champ 500.
Tell a guy to wash his fingers. You see this?
Man, I was out in the yard, making a flower garden.
Put on gloves.
Doing something productive here.
I said
for the last 58
bitch,
days till we get the bitch slap you guys.
You're a little bitch. When I saw that video,
hold on.
You posted
little is not part of it. I resent that you said I'm little. Okay.
Well, you are on a diet, right? You said you.
I am on a diet.
I'm giving you something. Hey, I'm giving you something.
You giving me something?
Yeah.
I might need some penicillin.
Philly, why is he a bitch? Philly, why is he a bitch?
Video he posted today. I can't. You just can't make this up. It was 29 minutes ago. Micah Parsons gets trashed while Jalen Hurts gets a pat on the back. Of course, Jalen Hurts gets pat.
No.
He's Super Bowl
Did you
MVP.
actually watch the video, Chump?
He's always crying. I already know how it goes. I watched like 30 seconds. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to shut off. I know where you're gonna go. Oh, the Cowboys always getting trashed, and we're always getting.
I got a real question.
Jalen Hurts MVP. Let's face it.
No, he didn't. league MVP. But hold on.
Super
I want to know one thing though. As I'm sitting here
MVP.
looking at the two of you guys, there is a resemblance. Are you two related? Is either one of our son?
Our ancestors come from the same
listening to
Xander, Italian. So maybe
our ancestors,
like brothers.
Our ancestors come from the same sunny peninsula. What do you want?
Well, listening to Xander, who's clearly the brains of the operation here, and how computer challenged you are.
That's a shot at you.
No, Philly. Come on.
Oh, I know I'm bad.
Don't act like you can call me up and say, hey, how you do, blah, 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 when you got the Mevo cameras.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's true.
And that's Dan. The apple will fall far from the tree.
So where are you going here, there, cowboy guy?
We live in the real
just
world.
Asking. Do you know his mama?
Oh, I may. He may know my mama. I mean, listen, when you're a player.
Now we're attacking mamas here? Is that what we're
going?
I'm
just saying that.
Oh, okay, we can go there.
Hey, guess what? We're Italian. I don't know. We could be related. You know,
she might have been at a Diddy party with Dan. For all we know.
Okay,
man, I'm going to smack this guy's face.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Trump, you got a problem with that?
What?
Where are we going here?
Pass the cannolis.
Okay.
What I'm saying.
There you go. No, grab the cannolis. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Leave the gun. Grab the cannolis.
See, Mark's trying to go low. He's trying to go
you know
after mama.
Look, come on. Let's be real here. This is the lull before the storm. There is not shit going on.
I'm not going after nobody's mom. I don't do that.
You know what he's doing, right?
Yeah, I know he's
making sure you go off the base because there's nothing really to talk about with the fucking Cowboys right now.
No, we could talk about their great running game they got.
With the Eagles right now until they get to training camp, unless somebody does some stupid shit like Kayvon Turpin.
We could talk about the Eagles. I mean, they're getting ready for their rings. July 18th.
I do have one thing to ask you. So there was a debate on social media, and I want to ask you first, Mark. If you had to pick a quarterback between Eli Manning and Jalen Hurts, who would you pick?
I'd pick Jalen Hurts
over Eli.
Yeah,
Why?
Eli had two great playoff runs, but other than that, he was pretty much average. And
having 4 playoffs, he's got 2 Super Bowl victories.
Yeah, he does, but he also had an incredible defense too that helped. Okay,
didn't he go to Dallas on the road?
He played great in those 2 playoff runs.
He threw for 60,000 yards. Hurts
but if you play long enough, you're going to get those yards. But if you look at the totality of his career,
I bring this up though is because you just said it. He's a product of the environment around him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, aren't they the same?
It is, but I would, for me, I would take having the dual threat. Eli Manning ain't running past anybody. That's one of the things that actually, as much as I trash Jalen Hurts, and the reason the video that I put in was the person actually said, "Congratulations to Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, and like 5 quarterbacks." They said that could have won the Super Bowl if they were on the team that Jalen Hurts was last year.
Well, see, the problem,
he is a cog in the system, but he is not the whole system.
Here, let me ask Philly this question. You think because Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, he's better than Josh Allen and he's better than Joe Burrow?
Because he won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Not necessarily because he won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think there are a few guys that I'm willing to take in a debate with Jalen Hurts. Dak Prescott is not one of them. I often think well, he stinks. I mean, he doesn't win anything in any situation. Do I think? Here's how I look at it.
Do you think Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl if he's on the Cowboys? Real question.
A couple years ago, yes. When you had that team and you were the number 1 seed and you choked. When you were the number 2 seed and you choked. Yeah, I think he wins. Because I think Jalen Hurts wins more games than Dak Prescott. But I think Josh Allen, I think Joe Burrow, I think they probably could win on the Eagles roster if they were the starting quarterback. But the thing with Jalen Hurts is he's been to the Super Bowl twice, Hills. He went with a different coaching staff, right? Different offensive coordinators. He went with different players. I mean, they didn't have Saquon Barkley. They had Miles Sanders. And he came one drive to being a two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP. So, to me, he's already gone there twice. How many quarterbacks in this league besides Mahomes have been to 2 Super Bowls?
Now, let me put this out here, though. Your 2 Super Bowl teams both had top 5 scoring defenses.
See, Mark, I don't think because you went to 2 Super Bowls means you're a better football player than somebody else when you just add a guy and look at a guy and go, is that guy better than that dude? That's like saying Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino because but Super Bowl. That's not the case.
No, it's not the case. But you can't discount that a lot of these quarterbacks in the league still have teams that are good enough to win, and they don't win in the playoffs when the time comes. And this goes back to history. You bring Eli Manning into it. Okay, let's talk about Eli. Eli Manning, you know why Eli Manning deserves the credit he gets? He won 2 Super Bowls where he had to go on the road and win in the playoffs. One of those places, I believe, was in Dallas. He had to go to Green Bay. So, you can't dismiss when guys go out there and win. So I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all, but in today's ratings, the way we look at quarterbacks, it's discounted to the nth degree.
How about this?
Let me just ask this as a real question. Does John Elway win 2 Super Bowls without Terrell Davis?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so. No.
He was the caboose.
There you go.
He was the caboose on those teams.
Yeah.
And when he had to carry the teams, he was 0-3.
But he went to Super Bowls. He was there in the game playing.
He did.
He gave them
He did, but he didn't win until he had that, 2008-yard season.
You could say that for every quarterback, right? I mean, Joe Montana. Does Joe Montana win if he doesn't have Jerry Rice and Roger Craig? I don't know.
Well, the first Super Bowl.
So in other words, you're saying that people around a quarterback make a difference?
He did.
It
Billy,
does.
he won the first Super Bowl without.
Of course, it matters what you have around you. However, that's not an excuse for a guy like Dak Prescott, who has had teams that were good enough to win. That's not going to.
I will argue that the Dallas Cowboys actually overperformed for what they did throughout the 5 years that Mike McCarthy was the coach. The 2 biggest moves they did was getting Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Everything else was addition by subtraction. Zeke Elliott went downhill. You got rid of Amari Cooper and figured Noah Brown or Jalen Tolbert's going to be just as good. You can't honestly look at a Tyron Smith who averaged 8 games a season for the last 5 years.
Let me throw this.
That's the same team.
Wait a second.
In comparison to what the Eagles have.
Let's keep it simple. When you're the number 2 seed, and you're playing at home a playoff game, are you supposed to win that game?
Yes, you are.
Well, then what happened?
Well,
what happened? That team was top heavy. And was beat down by the time the playoffs.
They lost as a 1 seed. They lost as a 2 seed. They might even lost as a 3 seed. They stink.
Mark, let me ask you this about Dak here. Okay. So do you think that the Cowboys have let Dak down by not putting quality coaches around him? And that's been one of the major issues, not just the talent stuff that we talk about. The Cowboys have not done a bad job when it comes to drafting and getting guys in there. They've not done a bad job. Have they done a bad job at putting a good enough coaches? Because look at what Philly did. Philly fucked up in 2023 by bad coaching. What did they do? They adjusted immediately. They dumped those guys. They brought in Vic Fangio. They brought in a coach that was going to be compatible with the style of play they were looking at, and it worked, and they win the Super Bowl, and they move forward. And they continue to add great talent on top of that. I do think the Cowboys they failed miserably by not adding quality players around. But don't you think it's been coming? Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, that really is going to win with those guys?
Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Go ahead,
we heard
son.
that the reason why Dak couldn't win the playoffs was Kellen Moore, and that he was going to come to the Eagles and destroy the Eagles. What did Kellen Moore do with the Eagles? Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
So,
he didn't have the same. Okay.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm going to disagree with Philly 500 on this. Name me one thing that Kellen Moore brought to the Eagle offense last year that changed the look of the Eagle offense. He didn't do shit.
I don't know. I thought the Super Bowl was pretty good.
Hold on. I'll tell you this. The reason you guys got to that Super Bowl was because of the addition of Saquon Barkley.
Right. Well, then why couldn't Dallas win one playoff game with Kellen Moore? Why couldn't they get to an NFC Championship game? But we were told that Kellen Moore was. If we sat here a year ago and he was saying Kellen Moore was the reason Dak choked, and you wait and see what he does with Jalen Hurts. We can't ignore that. That's what was said on here. We've debated it. Well, Kellen Moore won a Super Bowl.
Okay. Let me go back to a question that happened before I got on here. When Sills, you were asked, what team is better than the Eagles? What team is better than the Eagles? I can't
think of one.
Talent-wise. I mean, it hurts me to say that, but
roster-wise. I think Baltimore's in the conversation.
Playoff Lamar.
Okay. Again,
chokes.
I think Baltimore's in the Are you suggesting you think Jalen's a better player than Lamar?
If I have to win a game in the fourth quarter of a playoffs, I'd rather have Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson.
I actually thought he was a better player.
Overall, I mean, in the regular season, no, Lamar's going to put up the statistics. But if we talk about and what's the most important thing? It isn't the statistics. It's who has the ball with 2 minutes left in the playoff game, down 4. I take Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson.
I think that Rams team's pretty good. The Rams.
Where do you put the Cowboys in that equation?
Here's my problem with your team, Mark.
It's probably the same problem I have.
I just don't know in the O-line if you've got enough talent that's going to come forward this year and going to be good enough to stop. Now, again, everyone's sitting there trying to tell me that Philadelphia's got a great defensive line. I don't see that. Those 2 edge rushers, I don't know who the fuck they are. We'll see if they're going to pan out. Jordan Davis is underachieved, okay? He played at 37% of the snaps a year ago. Carter's a beast, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I do have a lot of faith in Jalix Hunt, okay? But again, how good are you going to be in that opener against that front, that coordinator? That's a pretty tough ask for me to sit there and think that you're going to move the ball against that unit, especially Zach Bond. I think that you're going to have a tough one in there. I'm not saying you're not going to, okay? Because, again, I don't believe in Keely Ringo. They got 5 different starters on defense, 5 first-time starters. And everyone in Philly is under the assumption that all 5 of those guys are just going to be superstars because of Vic. Well, I don't believe that. They're not going to do that 2 years. If they had brought every person back, they would have had a tough time being the number 1 ranked defense. So with that being said, I think Dallas will move the ball, but I just don't think you have enough. Mm-hmm. Like, I think if they get a lead on you, and they get a lead on you early, I think that's going to be a long afternoon.
Well, Sills, you know what I think it is? I mean, I think there's some talented teams out there. I mean, I think you got to look at the Rams. I think they're improved. I think if the Lions are healthy, I think they're competition. Mm-hmm. I think there are teams out there, but I think to me, what's the most interesting really is if you look at the way the NFL is built and how defenses have been built over the last so many years, they're built to stop the pass, not stop the run. Right. I don't think there are many teams that can stop the run. And it may take a few years to make that adjustment. Teams will adjust to it, but it's going to take some time. And I think the Eagles, the ability to run the ball is what's going to hurt a lot of these teams that are good. Like the Rams. The Rams, they couldn't stop the run. Barkley had 4+ 50-yard runs in 2 games against them. If they can't stop the run, you can't beat the Eagles. And I think that's the advantage.
Couple questions here for you guys. Mark, do you think Mozzie Smith can be saved, and will we see a turnaround year this year?
Well, Dan, that interior defensive tackles actually take a couple of years before they really get into gear. Usually it's year 3 or 4 when they really have started to figure it out, and they really are in their peak between about 4 and 6 and 7 years, and you see him playing well down the stretch. He's been putting in the work. Now, can he end up being where he was drafted? don't know. I still look at it and say I'm worried about my interior defensive line, again, stopping the strength of the Eagles, which is the running game. If the Cowboys defense is playing with the lead, I think that they're going to play great because they have a lot of guys that are light in the ass, that are really quick, that can rush the passer. But, when you have Solomon Thomas, who's about 290, you've got Osa Ndigazua, who's about like 290. He's very quick. He's not real big. You only have Mozzie and Jay Tola as two guys that are really over 300 pounds. And I think that's
so you think it's more finesse? It's a more finesse defense.
Without a doubt, it's going to be. It's going to be really getting upfield and trying to disrupt things. But, we'll see what they come out with.
This is for you, Philly. What will a successful season with Jordan Davis look like to you? What does he have to do? He played 37% of the snaps a year ago.
Just keep doing what you did in the playoffs, my man. Just keep doing what you did in the playoffs, because Jordan Davis showed up big time in that NFC Championship game, in that Super Bowl. And I think if he can carry that into the season, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's ever going to be an 8, 9, 10 sack guy. But if he goes out and gets me 4 sacks on the season, stops the run, is on the field first and second down, maybe even some third downs, that would be bonus. But I think Jordan Davis being that run stopper, improve a little bit in that, in that passing game and be well conditioned, I think he'll be fine.
Wait, do you have a problem with the coach calling him out when asked why he wasn't in shape at the beginning of the season?
No, I don't, because the coach also said that late in the season, he started to get in shape. In December, he was in really good shape. Going into the playoffs, he was in good shape. I think it showed on the field, Sills.
It did. Final 5 games. The reason he didn't get an extension, though, and they picked up the option, was because they're telling him, "It's a big year for you, kid." I think they like, and I don't think they don't like him, or they wouldn't have given him the 12-9.
I agree.
I don't think they don't like him, but he's not lived. Do you think he's lived up to the 13th pick in the draft?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I think
I'm not saying he's a bust.
No, I don't think he's a bust either. I don't think he's lived up from it, but not because of talent. Like, there's certain things where I've seen him do on the field that I'm like, wow, this guy's extremely talented. But I think it took him a while to realize how important it was to be conditioned and be able to play with the snaps. And I think, maybe he's matured late in that regard. But for whatever reason, he looks like he's in tremendous shape now.
Mark, for you, do you believe that you have a 4,000-yard passer and 2 1,000-yard receivers in Dallas this year?
Yes, I do. But if we're talking 4,000 plus, then we're not running the ball as much as I would like. I would rather see Dak's numbers down some and being balanced, where we're using up the whole field. It's going to be hard, though, because having Pickens and having CD, your first instinct is going to be, I want to throw the rock. But we'll see what ends up.
That run game for Dallas is what you got to worry about. So we don't know if I can actually look at this and say, if I think back to when the Cowboys signed Darren McFadden averaged 3.3 yards a carry for the last 3 years he was with the Raiders. He got to the Cowboys. For whatever reason, he ran 4.6, had over 1,000 yards, and didn't even start until week 4. Maybe we get lucky and have a situation like that if Miles Sanders makes the roster, or maybe Blue ends up coming out the box and is real good. It's all going to be a matter of how is the offensive line going to play.
I'll make this point to you about Jalen Hurts, what you just said. Jalen Hurts throws for 4,500 yards this year. The Eagles are 9-8. If Jalen Hurts throws for 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, okay, if they do that, that means Barkley went for 1,700 yards again. AJ did something back there. Hurts went more. I get this. I don't believe your guy's going more than 1,500 yards. No back in NFL history's ever done.
I know. That's why it's time. It's time.
So you think the guy's going to put 800 carries?
I'm thinking he's getting another 2,000 yards.
I'm
calling it
now.
Put
down the crack pipe, man.
now.
If he does, if he somehow does, that'll be just retire him. He won't have anything left.
It's going to be the first time in history it ever happened. It's got to happen sometime.
If they give him 33 carries at the beginning of the season, he won't finish the year. He just won't. No back in NFL.
I know.
He won't finish the year.
Doesn't make sense, but I just got it.
So you're saying
a weird feeling. I got a weird feeling.
486 carries a year ago, counting the playoffs.
That's a lot.
Just say he goes 420. Okay? You're talking 900 carries in 2 years. 1,000 carries almost in 2 years. You think that's not going to take a toll on a guy?
I know it does.
That's a history of knee injuries.
I'm not saying it's not going to take a toll. I think it is, but I'm telling you, I just got this weird feeling. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm not saying it makes sense.
Right.
I just got this weird feeling. I just got this weird feeling that he's going for 2,000 yards, and I'm going to bet it, and I'm going to bet it big time.
All right, I got a couple more for you guys here. Sidney Brown. Do you agree if he does not win the starting job, that pick will turn out to be a bust of a pick because you got Makuba, you drafted him. Now, again, it's a funny dynamic, Philly. You know, you get Reed's contract. By the way, I do not believe they're going to give Reed Blankenship a contract before the start of the season. That may be wrong, but I do not believe it. I think they're going to do him the same way they did Zach. Couple weeks before free agency, they may, depending on how he plays. But don't you find it odd? Okay, so you draft a third rounder and a second rounder. You got a UDFA who maybe is going to make $10 to $12 million. That's what the annual number is for a safety. Are you really going to pay Reed Blankenship $12 million? You see that guy as a Derwin James? I surely don't.
Do I see him as Derwin James? No. But I think he's a pretty good safety.
That's what the number is, though. It's Derwin James type number.
I think he's turned out to be a solid safety. And I actually think getting rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson actually opens up the ability for you to go out and sign him to an extension if you want to, because you're now putting most likely a rookie on the other side. So I think that I actually think he's going to get a contract extension. I'm not saying
before the season.
I don't know about before the season. I can't say that, but I think he's going to get one sometime during the season. I do.
Okay, Mark, this is for you. Why is the Philadelphia Eagle fans to you obnoxious? What makes them the most obnoxious fan base to you? And I'm going to ask vice versa on Philly. What makes the Philadelphia Eagles the most obnoxious fan base in American sports?
You know, when you listen to Eagles, you won the Super Bowl. You guys are the bomb. Okay, you are the big cojones. But yet, you're still a bunch of needy, whiny little bitches that are looking for everybody else to bow down to you, mother humpers. You know, I can sit here and be on my channel just, talking about Cowboys, and I get all of these damn Eagle fans in here that just, and it's like, listen, why don't you go play with some of your own people? Okay, this is the Cowboys over here. I'm not living over here on Philly 500's channel, bloviating about stupid shit. I only come on here because it was an Eagle fan that came in and said, Dan Sileo is trashing you. And I was like, who the hell is Dan Sileo? I've never heard of Dan Sileo. And why is he talking about me? And we realized that we're two old guys on front porches yelling at everybody to get the F off our lawn. That's why I'm here. Old people got to stick together.
Hey, all right, so I'll ask you this. Why do you believe the Dallas Cowboys are the most obnoxious fan base?
Do you have about 3 hours? Do we have about 3 hours?
Oh, Lord.
Well, I mean, look, first of all, when you deal with the Dallas Cowboys, right, everything Mark said, like, oh, get over it, Eagle fans, you won a championship. Here's a team that's still talking about their 90 championships, right, from the 90s. They still talk about it, but we can't talk about winning just this past year. But we got to hear them talk about their 5 rings that are all dusty and corroded. They haven't won anything in years. They think the NFL revolves around them. They think that they should get credit because they're Dallas Cowboys. And you have no right. Now, Mark sits there and goes, Oh my, I'm just doing Dallas stuff. I ain't doing anything. Every other video he trashes the Eagles in whatever video he does, and then he wonders why Eagle fans come in and respond. It's just like
you want the truth?
He just posted.
Do you want the truth, man? Do you want the truth?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
The reality is the Cowboys move the needle for everybody. Let's be real. Let's be real.
You see?
Listen,
I'm
happy because at least people watch, okay? It's a train wreck that everybody wants to watch.
Mark, you do have to admit, it's only been 6 months. I mean, get over it. They won the fucking Super Bowl 6 months ago. We're not talking about 16 years ago.
Well, hang out on your own channels and do your circle jerks together.
When that banner gets raised,
hear it.
when that banner gets raised and they kick that ball off Thursday night,
Lordy.
no more discussion about being champions.
Well, since you guys are, there's no team better than you. So are we expecting you guys to go 17-0, blow through the playoffs, and be Super Bowl champions with your 2,000 back-to-back yard running back? Is that what you basically are telling us?
So you're wanting me to guarantee an undefeated season?
No, are you going back to back? Are you going back to back?
I think we're. I if we stay healthy, I feel like we got a great chance to go back and win the whole thing.
And Saquon's going to get 2,000 yards.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a logical take, but I feel
Walk
like
it back now. Walk it back.
No, I'm not walking it back. I'm just telling you that's just a gut feeling that I have. I'm not saying that I know for sure because look, nobody's ever done it, but I got a feeling he's in a window right now for the next 2 years that is going to be very special.
Well,
Yes, Mark.
Yeah,
Mark, do you believe the Cowboys are better than the Commanders?
I think the Commanders are actually headed for a little bit of a fall. Their defense is suspect. You know, they lost a lot. I mean, we got their best pass rusher back in Dante Fowler. And I'm not saying that Dante Fowler is great, but losing Allen on that defensive things, they've got some holes in that defense. And now, you know, the book is out on Daniels. You know, you're going to have the rookie slump, and you don't have the cupcake schedule that you had the year before.
All right, I get it. Here's how we're going to end it. Philly, in the opener, are you going to give Mark Holmes any points? Or is this going to be straight up? Is this going to be straight up? And Mark, how many points do you want?
I want 7 points like Vegas has got. 7
points. Are you giving him 7 points?
No, I'm giving him a beating. We're going to give him a beating. That's it. No points. We don't deal with points. We're dealing with wins and losses.
Oh,
we've got to give that team a beating.
Are you scared? Are you saying it's going to be close? Are you saying you're scared?
What's the score? What's the score? Not
early.
To put it in cement right now, but what are you feeling here? What kind of score are you feeling on September 4th?
I think
is this a video coming? Is this a video 500?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
What are you feeling right now on a score on the 4th of September?
I think 34-17. I think it's close for the first half, and then Barkley blows it open in the second half, running the ball all over Dallas, and the Eagles run away with it. It's going to be too much. It's just going to be too much.
I can see Mark working it already, writing it down. 34-17, Mark. 34-17. How you feeling about September 4th? How are you feeling about it?
Here's the reality of it, okay? The Cowboys, new coach, basically half a new team, shouldn't be – what he said should be true. Eagles, it's your banner raising. It's the Dallas Cowboys, your rival. You should blow us the hell out. It should not be close. It should be a laugher.
You know what I'm doing right now, Mark? I'm trying to give you a pair of balls. Give me a fucking score that's going to put me in the room.
But
27-24 Dallas.
But nobody knows what the Cowboys are going to do with having 2 wide receivers. And your defense with 5 new starters could get lit up. And with the Cowboys wanting to play the role of the spoiler, you might see it the other way.
Mark, if you win,
I'm going to say the reverse of what Philly said. 31-17 Cowboys.
Whoa!
What would be better? What would be better than to blow the Super Bowl champions
I got
out.
the title of the video, 31-17. Dope Cowboy fan.
Go ahead. Hey. Why not?
You guys are absolutely sensational, man. And hey, Mark, do me a favor. Don't ever fucking come on this program again and say there's nothing going on, because you know why? We fucking make everything what's going on. I am Mr. What's Going On. All right? That's what this is here. Nobody takes days off around this bitch. That's what this is here, homeboy.
He just told us to get the fuck off his lawn.
Hey, listen, I love you guys, man. I can't thank you
man.
enough. Philly,
All right, appreciate
by the
it.
way, one thing before you go, Mark. You see that shirt he's wearing? So after that James Gunn guy started telling me that Superman was a fucking immigrant, I'm not looking at it now. Now I'm not going to it.
Well, as soon as I saw the trailer and the dog flying in the air, I said, "I'm out, dude."
Yeah,
I'm not
like
watching
it's like Super Stevie
No.
flying in the air with a cape. I'm not in.
Christopher Reeve's still the best Superman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely was.
Cool. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. You
Peace
guys are
out.
awesome.
Bye.
Make sure you check out their fabulous channels, too. Yeah, I saw a dog flying in the air on the Superman thing, and I said, I'm out. Unless my dog's flying with a cape. Holy crap, my dog this morning. My old lady takes off, and she goes and works out with her kid, and she leaves the dog behind. I've got a show that I'm doing in Tampa, and they thought Tim Kirchin from ESPN was like he had a dog in his room. Thank God. Little Stevie's taking he's taking shots across the bow too. Yeah. Most people watch them boys. Hey, so I heard 31-17. That's Philly. No, 34-17. Philly 500. Yeah, Superman and Superdog. I don't know. Then he said that the guy's an immigrant because he came from another planet. I was like, bro, why? Superman's America, man. He's American. And these guys got him turning into like he's an illegal alien. Come on, man. I was like, okay, I'm out. And then, like I said, the trailer with the dog in the air. Yeah, he came from Planet Krypton. There you go. And Jarrell was his old man. Nicely done, Yale. I'm a big Superman guy. I love Superman. I used to collect comic books when I was. Hey, man. Secretary Gnome's coming for Superman. She might like him, though. How you doing? Right? He's from Krypton. I know where he's from. I've seen them all. The Birds are the standard now. How could they be the standard when the guys in Kansas City have been to 3 straight games that are the standard? Mag is upset. They praise a pedo, so they have to deflect and focus on Superman. Whatever. Hey, scoreboard, dude. Hey, just like Eagle fan, scoreboard. Let's see. They're saying true to comics with the dog. Hey, listen, I know there was a dog in there. Okay? Dude, are you really still talking about this guy? I could give a shit about that guy. Okay, I could care. Yale. Look at Yale going down in the gutter. You of all people. Holy cow, Yale. Yeah, head in the sand. Hey, they could have used you in November, guy. Said Dak Prescott was a better pass. Okay, Dak Prescott is a better passer than Jalen Hurts. He's not a better quarterback. Bro, it's a fact. He is. Hey, I live there. I live here. I got it. Okay. Okay, right? I like the first Superman. I don't know so much about the other ones. Actors actually. Oh, is he really? The dude's from Philly? He kind of looks like Christopher Reeves. He does. Kelly, he's not. a better pass rusher. He's a better wait a minute, he's a better passer. Yes, he is. Dude, Baker Mayfield's a better passer than Jalen Hurts. Stop. That doesn't make him a better quarterback. Again, you go down a lane you don't need to go. Aaron Rodgers is a better passer than Tom Brady. Yeah, but here's the problem with Batman. Batman has a utility belt. Okay, so he wears a belt, and he's got a suit. Superman's that dude. Okay? Superman's the dude. He's got to look like, again, he's got to look like Clark Kent to make you feel good about yourself because he sees you as a gift. He sees Americans as weak and lazy. That's why he's Clark Kent. And he's shy. Okay? Spider-Man's the worst. He can't even get the chick. That's another great one. You know? And plus he's got no, the problem with Spider-Man, he's got no game. I mean, you saw Superman, he floats in, you know, he flies in on the deck. You know, he's sitting there and he's got his muscles all bulging. He's there and he jumps in there in like his underwear with a cape on. And he's ready to rock. You got, you know, Batman, shit, you got to get the utility belt off and all that and the boots and everything. Take them all day. The chick's out the door. It's lost. Spider-Man just fumbles around going, hey, you know, I really like her, but I don't want to tell her that I really like her. No, he got no game. Of all the superheroes, Spider-Man gets Captain Kirk gets more tail than Spider-Man. I mean, Captain Kirk gets chicks that are green, 4 arms, 13 legs. I mean, Captain Kirk is the greatest Mac Daddy of them all because he has game all over the universe. I mean, he just totally gets game everywhere. This guy goes to Vulcamania or whatever, and he goes there and he's like, how you doing? You know, he puts the thing up like this, and he's there before you know it. He's up in the tree hut with a chick. It's over. He's got great game. Spider-Man's got no game. I don't know, man. Do I like her? Do I not like her? I can't tell her I really like her. Man, walk right up to her. If she tells you to go to hell, next. That's the greatest thing about chicks. There's a billion of them. If she tells you no. Hey, youngsters, Vic Sills married the prom queen. Go up and tell her. I don't. Oh, yeah. I'm married to prom queen. It's not a fact. He's a better passer than Jalen Hurts. I don't give a fuck about this. But thank you for the super Twiz. The Dems had rappers twerking for votes at a Kamala rally, wondering why they lost. Yeah, that's right. I'm sure. All of those celebrities really mattered. Okay. Hey, Sue. It's not a fact he's a better at volume. Hold on here. Hey, Xander, put that back up because I want to make sure I give him kudos. The guy with the Dak Prescott super chat because he did pay for it. I want to make sure that we do that. It's not a fact he's a better at volume. Dak was 21 of 23. His first 5 years, Hurts is 22 and 11, throwing 30 or more. It's okay, Sills. Go take a lap. Dog, he's not a better passer. I'm talking as a skilled player. I don't give a shit what you throw at me there. He's not a better passer. Dude, Baker Mayfield's better. Baker Mayfield's a better passer. Throws higher volume, less picks. Hurts, higher volume, more picks. Case closed. Okay, but again, that's not what. Boy, here we are again, back with the conversation that we had earlier. Who cares if he's a better passer or not? Record would say otherwise. It's not a quarterback's record. It's a team record. He don't play defense. Dude, because Jalen, Twiz, let me ask you this. Twiz, because Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl MVP in a Super Bowl, you think he's a better ball player than Lamar Jackson? This is all I'll need to know about you. Twins, do you think that because Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl MVP in a Super Bowl, he's a better ball player than Lamar Jackson? Do you? Do you think he's a better ball player? Is Jalen Hurts a better ball player than Lamar Jackson? Because he won the Super Bowl. Yes or no? This is all I need to know. I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you thought he was a better ball player. Do you think he's a better ball player? Yes or no? Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. Simple question. Jalen or Lamar was a better ball player? And Jalen won the Super Bowl. Who do you think is a better ball player? It's not a tough question. Sills, I'm going to use my favorite movie line. Losers cry home to mommy, but their best winners go home and screw the prom queen. Thank you. So Hurts is a better ball player, Yale says, than Lamar Jackson, which is insane. Nobody in America would say that. Nobody, except the Philadelphia Eagles. Like John McMullen said today, the Philadelphia Eagles scouts wouldn't say that. They would not say that. Their own people in their own personnel department wouldn't say that. Okay? Hey, I asked you who you thought's a better player, and you said that Hurts is. Okay. Okay, so Lamar Jackson Jalen Hurts is a better player than Lamar. In what metric, as a skilled player, that he's better than? Is he a better runner? No. Is he a better thrower? No. He's not. He's not a better passer. He's not a better runner. What metric? Wait, let me guess. Winning. Not a quarterback stat. It's a team stat. But hey, Hurts' record. Lamar Jackson doesn't play defense either. I'm not getting into this again because it's stupid. It's just stupid. I didn't ask you who was smarter. I asked you who's a better ball player. Like, get this. Burrow doesn't have a team around him. Lamar does. Lamar didn't have a team around him 2 years ago. Last year was better. But once again, outside, do the Ravens have one player that could start in Philly? Do they? Does the Baltimore Ravens on their offense have one player that could start in Philly? Outside the quarterback. You think Linderbaum is better than Cam? That's a great one. Flowers could not start over AJ. Flowers is the number one, not the number three. Flowers, you're comparing Flowers, their number one receiver, to Jahan Dotson. Try again. Try again. Dotson over Flowers. Probably so. Because Dotson fits what they do. Dotson's the number three. I don't know. Okay. Right. AJ's a 1. Flowers is a 1. It's like moving guards and tackles. This guy will make anything up to make a narrative. See if they do. Baltimore doesn't. Baltimore, Kansas City, and Buffalo don't have one player in their huddle combined that could play in Philly. Not one. I'll take Goddard over Travis Kelce. Creed Humphrey, maybe I'd take over Cam. The only difference is the quarterbacks. You could take 3 football teams, Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens, and not one of them would start in Philly, except the quarterbacks. I mean, right? The only one, think about what I just said. Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore on offense. Nobody would start in Philly on all three of those teams except the quarterbacks. It's not a narrative, it's a fact. And narratives are trying to make something fit that doesn't, that you're making up. They don't have anybody on those teams. I agree with this take. And I think he excels. By the way, like the guy said this morning, it really doesn't matter. You know, that's pretty interesting too, Kyle. The one thing that I would make that comment on, isn't it crazy that all three teams have great centers? Bills, Kansas City, Baltimore, and the Eagles. I think there's something to that. And I think that's one of the things that's going to kill Detroit this year. I think Detroit not having a great center like Ragnow, I think that's going to hurt them. You want to hear something, folks? I don't think Washington steps back. I think Detroit does. Because of the loss of Ragnow. You may see maybe a game or two in Washington, but Detroit is not going to be, I agree with you, I'm awake. They're not going to be, I am not high on them. I am just not. I think the loss of the center, the coordinators, and the guard, I think they take a big step back. They're not a 15-win team. That team may win 10, 11 games this year. You watch. I mean, you watch. They won 15 ball games last year, right? You watch them win 10, 11 games this year. I think they're good. But Detroit doesn't scare me. LA, I still don't know what I'm looking at with Minnesota. I just don't know what I'm seeing with Minnesota. That's a great one. Marcus, Kansas City and Detroit taking steps back? Yep. Yep. And you know what's crazy, El? They just gave him that $53 million deal. They're going to be asking him to do more. I mean, you lose Ragnow. Hey, let me put it to you this way. If Jalen Hurts lost Cam, or he didn't have a capable replacement from Jason Kelce, okay, I don't think that offensive line looks the same. So it's crazy how bad injuries destroyed Detroit last. Yes, and they were still able to overcome. But they had coordinators. They had really good coaching. I'll tell you what they did do. Because they haven't been in the wars and the fires that the Eagles have been in, it played a role in them getting upset by Washington. That game wasn't close. You guys remember that Washington game? That game wasn't close. I mean, they went up there and blew them out. The Bucs are the Tristan Wirfs injury is concerning if you're a Buck fan. If you're an Eagle fan, that's a huge thing. I don't believe he's going to be back for that Buck game, that Buck and Eagle game. I think that's week 4. He might be, but he might just be coming off of IR. He's going to miss the first couple weeks. I know that. Tristan Wirfs. He's not going to be ready at all for Atlanta. Then they're going to play it by ear. I don't know. I can't remember who they play in the second and third. Sills, I have liked the Smitty pick in 21. Who did you want? I was completely wrong about him. It was one of my first shitty takes here on JAKIB. I thought he was going to be you know who I thought he was going to be? Jameson Williams. Because when I see that guy and how small he is, I can't believe how durable he is. It's not that I didn't think he was good. I thought he was good at Bama. I just didn't think he would be as durable. Now, he's missed a couple games, but he's a very durable guy for as slim as he is and for as small as he is. I mean, Xander, what did he play at Alabama? Like 170 pounds? Like, right? Like 170 pounds he won the Heisman Trophy at? He may have even been lighter. He just wasn't a big dude. And I'm like, I don't know how that guy's going to hang in there in the NFL. How do the Eagles' O-line compare to the Cowboys 92-93? I think you're better. And here, let me go here. The 92. Let's do the 93 O-line. Okay. Here's Paul. Worse, I think, when you're put on PUP list, it's 4 games. Paul, is he on the PUP list? I thought they were going to player unable to perform. It's automatic 4. I don't know if he can't come back it's automatic 4. He comes back in the 5th, then he's not going to be. If they put him on that PUP list, okay, he will not be ready for the Eagle game. Let me see something here. Let me go with last year's O-line with the Eagles. Let me go last year's O-line. Let me take a look at this. All right. It's a great question. Tight end, Jay Novacek. Goddard's a better player. He's a better all-around player because he can block. O-line. The tackles were Eric Williams and Mark Tuney. I won't lie. I think you got better. I'll do it after this, Andrew. I think you got better tackles. You got better tackles. Eric Williams and Mark Tuney, Jordan Mailata, Lane. I don't think that's even close. The guards, Nate Newton and Kevin Gogan. Landon and Becton. Is Landon better than Nate? How many Pro Bowls did Nate have? Nate had 6 and 3 Super Bowl wins. I don't believe that Landon's better than Nate Newton. Close, but I don't remember. I don't believe that. Landon is not better than Nate. Is Cam better than Stepnoski? Five-time Pro Bowler. Cam's young. Landon's young. I played against Stepnoski. He's undersized. Boy, that's a push. I think Cam's is good. I think it's a push. Stepnoski's a really good player, but he's undersized. Like, he's not blocking Jordan Davis today. Okay? He's not. He's not blocking Jordan Davis. Or he's not blocking Jalen Carter. Okay? He's just not. So overall, the Eagles have the best O-line I've ever seen. And maybe the only other line I would compare it to would be the Hogs. When they had Mark May, Jacoby, Russ Grimm, that line with Joe Bugle, that was a great O-line. But it's the Hogs and the Cowboys, and then it's the Eagle line. It would be in that, get this, Landon is the best guard in the game, just facts. Nate was the best guard in the game, just facts. And he won 3 Super Bowls. Nate Newton was the best guard in the game for his time. And then when Eric Allen came in, they had the 2 best guards in football. I mean, Nate was the best guard in the game too. Okay, so we're talking about the greatest in the sport. So, yeah. All right. I can't believe it, guys. We've had a bunch of fun today, man. I'm going to take my first time out, believe it or not. This is crazy great. Hey, guys, don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan. Boy, I had a great conversation with those guys today. I just absolutely just love the fact that we're in a great place with Morgan & Morgan with over $30 billion recovered for the #1 injury law firm in all of America, and it's because they win. Remember something, too, one of the most important things. They don't get paid unless you win. Simple as that. If you've been injured in any way, folks, trust me when I tell you, I've been with this company for 20 years. I've known John and his family for over 25 years. Been friends that long. Please, if you've ever been injured, just trust me when I tell you. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. no IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you very much. So I saw something interesting. I was going through the channels, and I landed on the NFL Network. And I saw something that I couldn't believe. I was watching the Washington Redskins versus the Kansas City Chiefs from 2005. And I was like, I was told that the name Redskins was racist. And there the game was. It's like, wow. Had the Chirons up, had the name Redskins and Chiefs. And I was like, holy shit, that's the first. You know how the NFL Network, they'll broadcast old games from like the early 2000s or what have you. And I was like, wow. So the NFL Network is promoting a name that they told you a couple of years ago because Biden was in the White House was racist. And now that Trump's in the White House, Redskins is not racist now? If you don't need to know anything more than that the NFL sways to the court of public opinion, right there in a nutshell, is how the NFL sees you. That's how they manage their sport. Okay? I've never talked about the NFL Network airing a Redskins game. I heard Trump make a comment the other day. That's what I talked about. I never saw the NFL Network in the last 5 or 6 or 10 years play a game where you had the logo and the name Redskin on their television set. But wait a minute. I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking about the NFL promoting the Washington Redskin name. It's one thing for Trump to say it. This is a completely different conversation, Yale, because the NFL is now using it. This has nothing to do with Trump. Or maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, right, Bruce? Hey, we talked about the president saying they should go back to it. Yeah, we did. I completely agree. We did. We said, well, Trump said that they should go back to the Redskin name. And then I was like, oh, okay, so it kind of dies. So, seriously, I'm going through the NFL. I'm going through the channel. I'm a channel changer guy. I see it and I go, holy shit, there's the Redskin logo. I said, this has got to be a news story. Nope. It was the NFL broadcasting a game that had the Redskin logo and the Redskin name on it. They're getting you ready. They're going to bring back the logo. I don't believe they're going to bring the name back. Okay? I don't believe they're going to do that. Okay? I do not. But there it was. They're preparing you. Did you see what they were going to... Hey, did you see the new thing about the Washington... Get this year. You're probably going to do this during an Eagle game, too. So let me go and see if they posted this on their Twitter page. By the way, today is look at what they have posted. They have the old Washington Redskin colors. Today's their birthday. I think the Eagles had their birthday yesterday. Fit for old DC. They have the old Washington colors there. And get this. They're going to honor the Super Bowl era with throwback jerseys. Well, Super Bowl era uniforms. No, here they are. Dallas week 17, week 13 Denver, and week 9 Seattle. Sunday night, Monday night. No, Christmas Day. They're going to have the Washington Redskin uniforms on Christmas Day. Yeah. They're getting you ready. Okay? Wow. I guess it all depends who's in the White House. Right? It depends who's in the White House. Nobody would even dare broach this. Okay? I mean, that is crazy. All right. Let me do this here. I'm going to make a proclamation here. And some of you are going to be shocked. Let me bring this up. I was asked this by, believe it or not, the NFL Network. We're starting to do some stuff with them again as we're getting closer to the start of the season. And they sent me a list, top ranked offensive line. Offensive line men. I want to do this here. Okay. Here we go. Who is the best offensive tackle in pro football? I was asked. And they gave me metrics. And so I went through the metrics. And I got to tell you, who is the best offensive tackle? In pro football? It's actually Lane Johnson. It's Penei Sewell. And then it's Jordan Mailata. Those are your top three tackles. Trent Williams is fourth. He slid down the list. And I sat there and I looked at Lane's numbers. The last 6 years, he's been the best offensive lineman. And I'll tell you what I still have a problem with. And I said this, right tackle is not the premium position, but it's changed. It's changed. Because now you're moving people around like Micah Parsons, and you're moving folks around. No, Lane did not pave the way. Trey Thomas paved the way for you. And Jason Peters was a guy that paved the way for Lane. Wasn't Lane. Don't get ahead of yourself, kid. Jason Peters is a better ball player than Lane. Okay? Lane is not a better tackle than Jason Peters. They're both sensational, but he's not better than Jason Peters. He's just not. Okay? He's not. And what metric would you say that is? Oh, let me guess. There it goes, the Super Bowl thing. Jason Peters is a tackle too, dude. He's not a guard. Lane is the best right guard in NFL history. I didn't know you had a Lane playing right guard. Okay, you corrected it. Okay. Okay, I mean, but again, both those guys are. Jason Peters will be he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Absolutely not. Two different positions. I'm not sure where you're talking. Jason Peters was sensational. If I had to put the best left tackle in pro football history, it's Munoz. And then it's the guy, Jonathan Ogden. You probably go Orlando Pace. You'd be in that room. The best guard of all times, Larry Allen. Lane's probably in the top. In offensive lineman, would Lane be in the top? I think Lane would be in the top 12 greatest O linemen. No, greatest tackles, not greatest O linemen. There's too many. Okay. Joe Thomas. I actually think Lane's better than Joe Thomas. Hey, Forrest. I think Lane's better than Joe Thomas. I think he's better than him. Seals, who wins, Legion of Boom or 24 Philly? They went to back-to-back Super Bowls at Legion of Boom. Ask me that question after this year. Okay, Abe? If they go back-to-back like that team did, they went to back-to-back Super Bowls. So ask me at the end of it. Because Legion of Boom had the number. Get this. The Legion of Boom had the number 1 ranked defense also when they won the Super Bowl. And they blew their team out too in the Super Bowl. They blew Denver out. Okay. And so ask me that next year. Because if they go to back-to-back, then you're in the conversation. And then you're going to start talking about elite teams since the salary cap era. Yeah, they had Earl Thomas. They had all them linebackers. They had Cam Chancellor. They had Richard Sherman. Michael Bennett, who, like Yale said, hey, Yale, I remember Michael Bennett. Get this. Let me throw this at you here. So Michael Bennett, I was on in Tampa. This was years ago. Not this new thing I'm doing. But check this out. You'll like this one, Yale. Michael Bennett was a really fabulous ball player for Seattle. I mean, when you look at his years in Seattle, check this out. He was a really good ball player. So he was in Tampa for, I didn't realize this long. 1, 2, 3, 4. He was there 4 years, right? And they got him as a free agent from New Orleans, I think. He had 1 sack, 4 sacks, 4 sacks. And then his last year, he had 9. And then the Bucs let him go. He goes and signs with Seattle. And he turns out to be a superstar. I mean, did the Chiefs show the blueprint to stop Barkley? No. No. They did not. How many teams do you think have Chris Jones? 24 birds. How many players do you see like Chris Jones? That you think Dallas has a Chris Jones? Do you think? Well, you're playing him the second week. So do the Rams have that inside? I don't think so. Do the Bucs, is Vita Vea is there? Vita Vea is a tough ball player. But there's very few defensive tackles that you're going to face this season that are going to be run-stopping type dudes that are going to make impact plays. So until you have a guy that's inside that can stop the run, you're stopping Barkley. If they didn't have Chris Jones, the Eagles would have scored 100 points on him. I mean, they'd have put 100 points on him. If Saquon decides to retire an Eagle, do you feel it's possible? Or when his contract expires, he's gone? No worries. Barkley retire an Eagle. I don't think Saquon Barkley is going to have his retirement in his own hands. He'll be retired because of injury, not because he's bowing out. These next couple of years, all you guys are saying he's going to have all these years that he's going to have, they're going to come with a price to pay. You may have a guy carry the ball 900 times in the next 2 years, last year and this year. It won't last. 900 carries? I mean, Philly 500 is dreaming. No guy's ever done that. And it won't happen here. And he's an injury-prone guy. When someone goes, what do you mean he's injury-prone? He wasn't injured a year ago. He's been injury-prone the last 5 years. Again, what do you mean? It's not an if. He's been injury-prone the last 5 years. That's not it. What if? It's his career. Not everyone has Spags calling the defense too, right? Spags and Chris Jones. I don't think you're going to run into that a lot. Once again, that really doesn't matter. He's been injured the last 5 years, 3 times, with significant leg injuries and significant time lost. You think he's going to get healthier as he gets older? I don't care what O-line you have. We're not talking about a 23-year-old guy. I mean, Yale, he's got 4 rings. He's got 4 Super Bowl rings on 2 different teams. I mean, I don't know what I mean. You know how you guys are giving kudos to Nick Sirianni about being a good coach? Well, what does he have to do? How many conference championship games has he been in? He's been in Kansas City every year. Andy's been there, right? So shit, he's got about what? He's been in the last 6 AFC championship games. He's got 4 Super Bowl rings. I'm not sure what you think that he has to do to make sure I'm not saying you are, to get to Canton. Because you think Vic's scheme is going to be challenging this year. Cosmo, I don't think you're going to see the same type of approach as you did a year ago because he's got different personnel. I think that's the beauty of Vic, okay, is that he sees 11 dudes differently than the – how about this, Yale? Cosmo, he had 11 different dudes a year ago than he has this year, correct? He's got a base group of dudes that he had from a year ago. He's got to come up with the scheme that best fits this group. Last year's scheme's not going to fit this group. That's what makes him a genius, is because he's going to do this. All right, what best fits these guys' skill sets? The plug-and-play shit is not going to work. When you have a really great coordinator, he's going to go like this. Well, the 2024 team, we're not rolled. It's a lot easier if you roll back the offense like you did this year, like you had a year ago. You got the same guys outside of the right guard, right? Got Goddard back too. And you've added A.J. Dillon. Kind of upgraded in a way, except for the right guard. Right? All right. End of the day here, though, Vic's got to do this. Well, we don't have the same personnel. We're going to be looking at corner, safety, linebacker for the intermediate time, the 2 edge guys. What do we set here? Do we go more wide 5, wide 7? Do we go 5 front? Do we put Moro Ajomo on the field and we try to get Ty Robinson on the field? Do we go big personnel? Because I'll tell you this, if those 2 dudes can't set the edge for the entire season, don't be shocked if you see a 43 look and you see Vic go to Moro Ajomo. And I could see this. What do you think, Yale? I could, and that's right, Abe. Okay? Dime packages are being put in too, which means forefront. Ty Robinson, Moro Ajomo, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter playing the two techniques and having a forefront if those two edge guys can't set the edge. So I wouldn't be shocked if you saw a variation of that, depending how good Ty Robinson is. Okay, so I think Vic's going to look at it like this, because in a 40 front, what do you have? You're able to have 3 linebackers on the field. Think of this. Remember where I kept asking you? And Gary Cobb gave me this. Okay? If you go to a 4 front, Ajomo, Carter, Davis, Ty Robinson, what does that give you the ability to do? Campbell, Vaughn, and Dean can be on the field together. Nobody put this together until Gary Cobb said it to me. You can actually get all 3 linebackers on the field at the same time. And that's where he'll play. And your outside linebackers, okay, I mean, there's your front 7. And then if you want to go pass rush package, you put Nolan Smith in for Ty Robinson, or you have Jalix Hunt at one of the defensive ends, and you have a 43 look, and you can get all 3 linebackers on the field. Vic's a linebacker coach. He may want to get all 3 on the field. Only way you do that is in a 43. You're not going to do it in a 52, and you're not going to do it in a 34. All right, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you check out my great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America. Great conversation again with our folks over there. Nancy and everybody are so thrilled to be part of the program, and we're so proud to have them here. Football season is going to be big. We got some big things planned here. Look, if you're ever injured, please check them out. With 1,000 attorneys across the country, making sure American families are protected. It's an American company run by a family that looks out for Americans. Make sure you check them out at forthepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Carving them up and good play calling along the way. First and goal at the 6.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I can't believe Aaron Judge. He's on pace to hit 360, 62 home runs, and 135 RBIs. I mean, and he's not even the best player in the game right now. It's Shohei Ohtani. I mean, Ohtani hit I think Judge hit his 34th the other day. Man, 360. 62 home runs and 134 RBIs. That guy's gonna put together. Yeah, that's right, Twiz. I'm sure Harper's better. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, yeah, because baseball's the toughest championship to win, by the way, just to keep score there. Of all the championships to win, Major League Baseball is the toughest. But I do agree with you. Appreciate it, M. Reyes, and all of you guys. You guys have been great. And I can't thank you enough. And I appreciate you guys powering through. We're trying to figure out the mic stuff here. And we'll try to see if we can make sure we make that happen. But, hey, tomorrow, get this. It'll be 2 days out from the Chargers starting training camp. Maybe what I should do is start getting some people and report dates on what they're going to do. And remember one thing about that Hall of Fame game. I heard John say something about it. It's a celebration that week. It's why they play the Hall of Fame game, because the inductions, and they wanted an event for people to show up and stay for 3 or 4 days in Canton, Ohio, so that they could support the Hall of Fame. So the reason they play the game, they have the induction on Saturday. The jackets go out Friday. And if you're a fan, you can go and buy a 3-day package to the Village and spend the entire end of the week there in Canton, Ohio. See a football game and see your favorite stars milling around, and some of the greatest Hall of Famers that have ever played. It's kind of a really great environment to take your family to and see there in Canton, Ohio. So it's a pretty cool environment. Guys, I appreciate it. Big Z Xander, thank you guys. 2 to 6 tomorrow, and we shall see you on the flip side.